All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 73. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who, in my opinion, is one of the most positive and refreshing members in our entire gaming community. Although Xbox is his preferred console, this Lord is a true multi platform gamer, is extremely honest with his console opinions, and ultimately has the OG arcade resume to prove it. Introducing the host of Breakfast with Boom, a panelist on the Crossfire podcast, and the creator of the Double Barrel Gaming YouTube channel, the long arm of the law, and the Lord who correctly recognizes Resident Evil 2 as the GOAT of the series. New York City's finest, making his debut into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord BoomStick XL. How you doing, sir?
Well, let me just say something right off the bat. I have to take some pointers from you, bro, because that was one hell of an opening, and I'm getting goosebumps, and I should be ashamed of myself.
I just want to know if he's the MVP for having thinking 2's the GOAT. What does that make me for thinking 4 is the GOAT?
Listen, we gonna get into that. Trust me.
You can't. You can't front on 4. The first 4 Resident Evil games. You even throw Code Veronica in there.
I'll give people this. 4 is the reason the franchise went in the direction it did.
That is correct.
But just because 4 ruined the franchise doesn't mean 4 was a bad game.
4 saved the franchise. The franchise was hitting fatigue, so 4.
Yeah, I gotta save it. We got intros.
But he just said that just because 4 ruined it, 4 wasn't bad.
Trust me, I'm telling you, man. We gonna hit that subject. Trust me.
Well, listen. Well, first and foremost, guys, I have been really chomping at the bit to get on the show, and we've talked privately. I'm so honored to be here. I mean, I've listened to you guys' show numerous times. What our shows do is they talk about gaming, but there is a passion in the voice. That is something that cannot be faked, right? This isn't a fake news episode. This is real gamers talking about real news and getting excited and sometimes depressed on certain things that happen. When your favorite company gets an L, it's like your favorite ball team, regardless of what kind of sport, whether it be b-ball, whether it be football, soccer. When your team gets an L, you get depressed. That Monday comes around and you can't wait for the next Sunday because you have to wipe away that L. And gaming is very much the same thing. Microsoft does something bad and you're like, my God, Phil, what happened? Or you look at Sony or you look at Nintendo, and you get depressed because you want everyone to win. Absolutely. Okay, and I really mean this when I say this. When these companies win, you win.
Absolutely. Preach. That's the Lord's work being talked right now.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're the gamer, you're the one that's supporting the console or all 3 consoles. So when a good game comes out or a good decision comes out, you're the winner at the end of the day. So again, I'm really excited to be here. I cannot wait to get into these topics.
You already know. Much appreciated. Lord BoomStick, you're a Lord in your realm, so it's only right we showed you the proper respect here at the round table, and definitely a lot of our thoughts align, so we're going to get into these topics, have some fun. But of course, we have the 4 horsemen of gaming, those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. It's nice to be here. Nice to be on the Lord's Day on ILP. Definitely has some good topics.
Absolutely, man. Good to see
Actually,
you.
To be honest with you, I don't even know what the topics are.
I got you, man. I got you. One of them topics I got from you, the Fable. So we gonna get that one going, Pop. You gonna get that going. No doubt. Glad you made it, man. I know you had a rough week, and everyone try to send their love and support to my boy Lord Addict. I'm so happy he came through, and like I said, we gonna have some fun. And of course, we have our most technical gaming Lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, I might have to be in therapy with you guys, with you Mets fans.
Oh yeah. They offer free therapy for us.
He got his Yankee blues.
Oh my God. It's been a painful weekend, but UFC picked up my spirits last night.
Oh my God!
It was good. I guess we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
I don't remember seeing any fight talk last night, King. What happened?
Let's go. Get to my intro, and then I will address your concern, sir.
So already slipping, King?
No, just let's listen. I will address this when it's my turn.
Look at that man respecting the other Lord's ability to talk.
That's for the fishes.
Let's go through the intros. And then we'll come back and we'll
come back with Lord Patreon.
Right? Yeah, we'll take care of bills.
No doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who's a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the Get Money Gamer.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing incredible today. And I gotta say I'm doing incredible today because my boy Addict showed up.
Woo!
All right, I thought he wasn't gonna be here. I was really depressed because there's a topic I want my mans to go in on with me. But
I have a feeling it's Switch related.
But
no.
but this is the funny part. I had a lot of questions for Combat Talk, right? Because it was fights yesterday, and to get me to feel motivated and moved to do a Combat Talk has to be something that is worthy of me taking my time out and express and predict and see and document and do detail coverage of the fight. I didn't see that this weekend. You had Sergey Kovalev versus Player One. You had Andre Berto versus Devin Alexander. Now, in Andre Berto versus Devin Alexander, you had a guy whose body who broke down on him, and Andre Berto over the years, too many surgeries. The boy got too fat on his own success, and he lost his hunger, and he quits in the ring. That's not a dog that I can back in a fight, all right? And Devin Alexander was addicted to opioids, all right? So he has a weak constitution, so I can't trust him going into the ring. So you have two potential L's walking into the ring, so if they would have knocked each other out...
two burgers.
I'd have went with that. But
suspect best.
Exactly. But I say this to say, if I had to give a prediction of the fight, I would have definitely took Berto for the simple fact that being that some person was on opioids, that means he doesn't respect his body. That means he doesn't respect his temple. And I believe that he would fatigue out and get stopped later on. He didn't get stopped. They went to a decision. Berto won. Whatever. Sergey Kovalev. Do not like Sergey Kovalev at all. I do not like him as a person. Do I know him personally? No. But what he has exhibited outside of the ring and what he has done to his camp, mainly the minorities that was in his camp that got him to his position, he turned on them. He made references that was racist. So allegedly, he's a racist, right? Allegedly. I don't want to be sued. So this man lost to Andre Ward and never gave him the respect, never reflected on his loss and why he lost and how he lost. So if you never reflect on what went wrong with you, you are doomed to make that same mistake.
Absolutely.
But it will always come back to your doorstep greater than the last time it left. This time, your man got knocked out. Cold. Cold. It was a destruction sent from the gods. The humbler man put him into the bushes. So Sergey Kovalev, I want you to enjoy your time in the bushes, sir. I did not feel that none of you people were worthy for Fight Talk, but being that my inbox went crazy yesterday, I had at least 50 DMs by individuals. Shout out to Requeno and
Hold on.
Other guys.
Shout out to Cat Daddy Fast Stacks in the chat, man. Salute, Lord. Like, thanks for that code, for putting it in the chat. Much appreciated, man. He's a huge supporter.
Cat Daddy. He's off today. He's off today. So he's watching this. He's
appreciate to see him live in the chat, man. Thank you so much, bro.
I did not want to take up any time of this, to be honest with you guys. But being that you requested it, and being that Sovereign just got at me, like,
what's going on, man? This is where I go to now. You gotta remember, this is where I go to now for my info.
So, do you want to jump? I'm King. I'm sorry. Are you good?
No, I'm good, and I also know that there was UFC fights last night.
I'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll pay the bills, and then we'll get into Lord. So, of course, like I said, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So, Lord Sov, do you want to jump in now, or you want to kick that bell, the Iron Bank?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's
take care of it.
Let's go. So, it's that time to salute and bend the knee to all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. You guys, really, the outpouring from the beginning of this has been great. And Patreon and everybody who's here every Sunday afternoon with us. We've always said this is amazing that you guys take time out of your Sundays to come chill out with us and listen to our foolishness every Sunday. So let's get into our shout outs to all our Patreon subscribers. So let's start off with Lord Whiskey himself, the Lord of all the whiskeys.
All the whiskey. He got that. He earned that name at E3.
Lord Fireball. Excuse me.
Lord Fireball.
Lord Fireball.
Shout out to him. Afterwards, the PlayStation Bra. Thank you, sir, for all the support.
Oh man, salute him. Yes, it's my dude.
Followed by Lord Michael Lugo. Thank you so much, brother. In the chat every Sunday with us. Online with King. Going great. Wall of Bill himself, Lord Bill Stillwell. Thank you, sir.
We're going to talk about him when we get to the poll. Oh, I got
Followed by Lord Irrelevant Native. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Much appreciated, brother.
Dude, love Native.
All the support. Lord Spoonman.
Yeah.
Fellow Lord of Iron, hitting that gym hard in the morning. I see them tweets.
We just talked about him, Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stacks.
Yes, sir.
It's very rare we get him live on the show.
We get him live today.
On the road. So thank you, sir. And thank you for that code, brother. We really appreciate it. Another Lord of Combat Sports, Lord Jay Fonzarelli himself. Thank you.
Yes. My destiny brethren. No doubt. What else we got?
Stream Team Maestro, Lord Snaldo.
Oh, yes, brother. Yes, sir. Check his stream out. Had a good one. He was doing Overcooked with the wife. It was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Followed by Lord Snail Killer himself, Diago Padral.
Wow.
Thank you for the support.
We see you in the chat a little bit, Diago, man. We miss you, man.
Yeah, no, yeah. You got to see him in there. I know that the time is crazy, but let's see who's next. Oh, Lord Death Singer, thank you so much, brother, for all the support.
PUBG Kings, PUBG brethren.
Yeah, and last but absolutely not least, Lord Optimus Code.
Yo,
we'll have you on soon, brother. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, thank you. So now let's get into these giveaways, right? So let's start off. Let's start off with our $10 gift card giveaway. So I have all the names in our random name picker. And then I have the side ones, people that paid me on the side. So
you sure that we
gotta see this process. We don't see the process. I think you're showing favoritism.
The random generator that goes directly to the boss moves DM.
I'm just making sure everybody has my PayPal link, right? Everybody has that PayPal link out there. They know where the dough should go, right? All right, so the $10 gift card goes to the PlayStation.
Wow. PlayStation,
brother.
Salute. That's my guy.
Congratulations, brother. Just hit me in the DMs. And we'll get that
out you Lord Fraud with those codes.
Don't be mad because we didn't win yet. Gotta hit me up, man. What's going on?
That's right, Lord. Patreon of the Iron Bank. Hit that
Iron Bank up.
Rigged. The chat is hilarious. Rigged. Oh my god. Continue.
All right. A $20 gift card goes to Lord Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy, dude. I need some lottery numbers from you because I think he won every single time.
He got to be in it to win it.
Back.
Lord Cat Daddy. So congratulations, brother. You just hit me in the DM, so we'll take care of that. Now our T-shirt giveaway.
Oh, this is the big one. This is the one they want. They love that Lord swag.
And the Lord swag.
Let's
And
go.
the
What we got?
winner is. Wow!
Wait.
Lord Cat Daddy won.
I think you gotta get a new random generator. You gotta get a kill us.
Listen. Cat Daddy has every color.
Baby, that payment went through. That's why. There you go.
He has every color.
Another month with no W's. Irrelevant. This is hilarious. Dude, shout out to Cat, man. Like I said, he put a wonderful picture up. I'll never forget. We had all the Iron Lord shirts on his car. It really meant so much.
He has every color.
Every color.
Except for green.
Yo, Lord Frodo drew. He said, ring. They doubled down on rewards.
The only one you don't got is the green one.
That's the green one. No, nobody has the green one except for Lord Tim Dog.
Yeah,
that's a Tim Dog respect.
That was
that's
that
Jay's
special order.
You need the
All right, so we have one more giveaway to go because
one more. Okay,
bi-monthly, so we have a game to give away.
Oh, it's the big one.
Yeah, it's the big one.
Woo!
All right.
If Cat Daddy win right now, I'm gonna hang up.
Daddy win right now, we're finished.
Fred Sanford's holding the chest.
You cannot do the bank any longer.
We gotta change it. Now let me stop.
You gotta change it. And the winner of our bi-monthly game giveaway is Lord Death Singer.
Death. I knew it was Death Singer because I saw his name pop up and it just rang into my head and I was like,
Death won. See, guys, if more people join the Patreon, there's more chances for other people. plug.
Shameless plug.
All I have to say is people in the chat, Fat Daddy just won 2 things.
Yes.
That could have been you.
And Cat Daddy has won, like, I think he's won something in every single one that we've done so far. Like, so,
did you call him Fat Daddy Stat?
Yeah, he called him Fat Daddy.
Throw the name generator in the bushes. No doubt. Salute to all the winners, man. So we good. We all prized up.
We're all prized up. We're ready to go. You guys hit me in the DMs and we'll take care of these codes.
No doubt.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey guys, I want y'all to go to that little thumbs up button. Yes. And I want you to hit it. Because it is 45 of you guys in here and I only got 18 likes. What happened?
We really need the love.
Anyone who thinks God of War is going to outsell Spider-Man, hit that like button.
Oh, don't start.
I see your trollage, and I raise you trollage.
Oh, man.
Back in the bushes, Daddick. Back in the bushes.
Everybody, that was real fun.
You're going to be in the bushes when you lose that bet.
What's gonna happen when you lose it, though?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna admit that I'm in the bushes.
Listen, we're not gonna go to this right now. We're not gonna go to this right now. I am happy you're here today. Let's leave it at that.
No doubt. Real quick, man. Just I know you did combat. I'm literally just gonna do the last 2 fights. I just watched the last 2 from UFC. Fantastic card. Henry Cejudo, new champion, beat DJ very close, razor close. I thought it could have. I thought Cejudo did enough. But usually those type of fights go to the champion. So
I was surprised because of that.
Yeah, I was surprised. It almost like he didn't get that champion.
He beat DJ?
He beat DJ.
Yeah, he beat him, man. He had the secured the takedowns. He's just a bigger strong. He's really too big for that division. Let's keep it real, so like he's a big guy. He cuts a lot of weight to go down to that.
Which is why him calling out TJ
was interesting. Yeah. But TJ also got to handle his business with Dominic Cruz. So we'll get into that. Obviously, TJ versus Cody, the big one. I'm a huge Cody fan, but man, he got exposed. For being just too. He hasn't evolved. And the problem is the big right hand. I mean, literally, soft. TJ replayed the way he knocked him out the first time when this guy's winging and he's doing short shots and beating him to the punch. And just TJ is so versatile, man. The kicks and he's like the perfect villain, right? He comes to the ring smiling and annoying you, just want to slap him, but you can't hate him because he's so confident. So it looks like the move from alpha male helped him better than Cody, and I'm sad for Cody because right now he may be a broken guy. Like those guys that lose fights like that were once dominant and undefeated, sometimes they don't get that confidence back. So it's gonna be interesting.
I think Cody. I think what Cody is this. I think this is what TJ realized, right? He realized that he was fighting in an echo chamber where he wasn't going to improve beyond a certain point.
Yes,
and that's been alpha male's problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, they're
so tight knit that they peak out and they don't evolve beyond that.
Yeah,
Cody has some physical attributes over TJ that he can use to his advantage, and he's faster than TJ. He has more length than TJ. Well, for the most part, I think he does have a shorter reach than TJ.
Right.
But the thing with Cody is, I think he still went into this fight. Well, he said he went into this fight fighting with his emotion.
Yes. Good
this
point,
is not the same sniper that I saw take apart Dominic Cruz. It's not the same dude.
I thought he was going to be the future.
As
to be honest,
soon as he hurt TJ a little bit, he
got too crazy.
He got too excited.
Yeah,
and then TJ wasn't that hurt, and he got popped.
He got popped.
If he was willing just to fight him, but he was not willing just to beat him. He wanted to.
He wants to. His emotion.
Like
he's too young. He's too emotional. And that's when I saw, just to finish this up, because we're going long. But like when I saw him winging just when he first clipped TJ, and then he's winging all wide, and literally it felt like TJ was doing the shorter shots and just spamming the button. Like if it was a video game, he was just spamming the short punch button, and he would just. And he was funny. He did the same move. Almost 3 combinations in a row, and Cody made no adjustments. So that's when I knew the kid is a little too emotional. He got physical gifts. He has to evolve. He may have to leave alpha male, but hey, that's what
I just think he could have fought better, but he's too emotional when he fights TJ. Because if he would have fought him the way he fought Dominic, he had a chance.
Yes, he was in his zone, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. So shout out to UFC last night. It was fantastic. So let's get finally into the show and our guest. So obviously before we get into what we're playing, the Lords, we're going to start off with Lord Boom. His video game system history of over 40 years. His journey into the podcast realm with the Crossfire podcast and Lord Mooch. And finally, his inspiration to get started as a new content creator. So Lord Boom, let's start from the beginning. What were like some of the first video game systems you had and what got you into gaming?
Well, my first video game system that I had, it was 1978, the Atari 2600. My dad brought it home.
Old man.
This is the old man in the room. So I'm gonna bring back something that a lot of these young cats are never gonna hear.
Older than me?
Nah, we're all old.
We're all old Lords. Minus one young wolf.
Yeah.
Check this out. I was sitting with my brother at my grandma's house, and we saw in the Sears catalog. Remember that there was no internet back in the 70s. It was the catalog. We saw the Atari 20. I saw the Atari 2600, and it had Pac-Man and Missile Command and Space Invaders. So I had pointed it out, and my mom was like to my dad, "Listen, we got to get this for the kids because they do the right thing by us. They do their chores, right? They say their prayers." So my dad came home with it one day. He brought home the Atari 2600, with the paddles. A lot of people don't even know what the heck those things are.
Yes.
And the 2 controllers. And we played Combat, we played Missile Command, we played Space Invaders and Pac-Man. And again, back in the days, there were no colors these games. But a trick was if you turned all the lights off in the house and you kind of mess with the color, you got the ghosts to have color.
Okay. Can you remember?
That is an old.
Listen, everything that he's saying is 100% facts. So we have one button and a stick. One button and a stick.
One button and a stick. And you know what, dude? I have been fortunate. My parents were, my mom never worked because my dad was the breadwinner, and he was a blue collar dude. We were not rich. We weren't even middle class, to be quite honest. And I'm not ashamed to say it because, you got to start somewhere, and you got to start at the bottom and work your way up. And I am fortunate to say that video games grabbed me in a way that nothing else did. I mean, when I was a kid, my favorite thing was G.I. Joes, right? Like that was
with the Kung Fu grip.
Thundercats, Transformers, Mask.
He talking.
We're talking all the 80s stuff, right?
Yes.
So, I only got $5 a week for allowance, and that wasn't enough. So, I wanted games, and I wanted the ColecoVision, and I wanted the Vectrex, and I wanted the N64 and stuff like that. The NES. And the way I did it is I started delivering the Post and penny savers to kind of, you know, make up that little extra money. So
this man hustling,
you know, and I had 2-3 jobs at a time, even as a kid, you know, because video games was my thing. And it turns out that 40 years later, video games are still my thing. And, you know, I've been fortunate enough to say that I've owned every console in the US that's ever released.
This is king talk. You're in king level now. You surpassed me.
even some of the most obscure things, Virtual Boy, Neo Geo Kart, Neo Geo CD, you know, and again, my family, you know, we did not have a lot of money, but I had a drive that I still have to this day that, you know, if you want something, you got to work for it. I don't know if that, you know, that's a term that you don't really, that's kind of lost with this generation. And I'm not insulting anyone, but not everyone has the drive.
Facts.
And that's what drove me. And, no, a lot of people, whether you notice or not, I was a New York City police officer for 21 years.
Salute New York City's finest in the building.
I grew up in the projects. That's a housing development for some people that don't know what that is.
Right. Talk that New York talk. That's where we came from.
And I was fortunate enough to go back to my same community as a police officer. And for 17 out of those 21 years, I worked with the youth, and it was probably the best career I could have ever asked for because I was in the neighborhood that I used to run around in, and I was hanging out with some of the young and upcoming cats, steering them in the direction of you don't have to be bad to be cool.
Bro. That's cool.
And I went back to the school I graduated, Columbus High School, and I was a youth.
Oh, you went to Columbus?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's what's up.
I graduated there in '89 and went back in '97 as the school cop, and I was there as a youth officer. And I got to tell you guys, you know, I know that the press makes it out for you know, guys to be, you know, devils, and you know what? Everyone is not a good guy because they wear a shield and a gun. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I came across plenty of people that. Well, I was ashamed to call, comrades, if you will. But I came across a hell of a lot of people with the same story that me. Started with nothing, started poor, and then made a name for themselves, and actually took wearing that shield with respect and honor, which is what I did every day.
You listen, that is to be commended. And like, first of all, I'm glad you said what you said, because that's very, very important, you know, and also being able to give back to your own neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. That was gratifying in a way that words don't even put out there, dude. Yeah,
man, absolutely. And actually, I just want to go back 1 second with your game history on one thing. I know you had your repertoire is expansive. So I got to ask about, you said you had everything. So I'm assuming, yes. Did you have Coleco? And what was your feeling on the Coleco? Because that was my first system. That was my dad gave that to me. That was the first kind of gaming system I ever touched, and that's how my affection for gaming started. Like, what was any memories with Coleco at all?
Yeah, there were two big ones with that one. First and foremost, Donkey Kong was arcade perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Yes. It was like when I first saw it. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, the controllers.
With the telephone, with the
hello.
They were a little difficult, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you guys remember this now, when Rocky came out for that console,
remember? Yes,
they had those controls that looked like boxing gloves that you had.
And they had the red knob. And I know what you do because I bought that. They had a baseball game.
Yes,
that was when they kind of like, I would say right after Adam, because I believe they had Coleco. Then they had like the Adam with the Coleco. It was like a PC Coleco combo.
Yes,
and then I remember they came out with the new control. I had it. It looked like a boxing glove. It was black. It had a red knob on top. It had the numbers smaller. It wasn't the big phone numbers, but it was a small. Oh, he talking that talk. Go ahead.
And I remember playing Rocky, and you know, you watch the movie as a kid, and you play in the game. You think Rocky, you know, you running around the house with this big boxing glove thing on you. I'm gonna tell my mama, but I might have punched my brother with it. I'm just saying.
He said might have, allegedly.
I'm not admitting to anything.
My thing was when you said Vectrex. See, a lot of people don't understand. That was probably my all-time favorite young childhood system because it was like probably besides the tabletop systems that had like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and stuff like that, which was cute, and Popeye. Oh, that Popeye was amazing to me. But that was the first like little portable system. Like I can go to my friend's house and I can take it with me, and I can play Asteroids, Arcade Perfect Asteroids at his house, or what was it?
They had Berserk, which was
Berserk.
Was fantastic. They had Blitz, which was a football game, and what was a lot of people don't know is people say what Vectrex, what it was. Okay, well, really, what it was its own contained TV screen. And the controller used to fold up into it, and the wire used to just plug into the wall, so you could carry it. I mean, listen, as a kid, it's a little heavy. I ain't gonna front. But what made this thing very, very different is that it wasn't color, and you had to put plastic overlay screens to get the color of the games to make it color. And it worked because each game came with the cartridge, which again, people don't even know what the hell that is. Cartridges. What are you talking about? And what's crazy is back in those days, because it was the time where everyone it was actually right at the time when video game imploded, where in 83 the video game industry died. This came out right before that, and a cigarette company made a game. I still have it. It's worth about $800. It's called Clean Sweep, and it's a Pac-Man clone.
Wow!
And it was made by I think it was a cigar company, because they wanted to kind of get in on the video game craze. Let me tell you, I mean, the one thing I will say about being an older gamer, I mean, no one wants to get old, but I am going to say that having an ideology of where we came from to where we are now it's like magic. Gaming is like magic, and what you see on the screens now, you got to remember there are some young cats starting with the PS4, so they don't understand what dot graphics, and they don't understand what I used to listen.
Talk to Addict. Preach to him. Let him learn.
You remember Circus Atari with the paddle?
Yes.
Every time you fell, the guy made that crunching noise, clunk. Like, and you're like, oh my god, I died again. Or kaboom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look. Like I said, learn your video game history before you get on social media and start spitting some nonsense. Because we all, again, if you started in the PS4 era. I'm not gonna say I don't feel bad for you, because I kind of do. When these indie games come out and they're like, that's just crap. Look at the graphics.
Shout out to Digital Tiger. He says, remember Mousetrap. Wow, they say some good classics in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, it's really interesting to see where we are now. I love gaming as much as any other hobby I've ever done. I've stayed strong with it 40 years. I mean, before becoming a New York City police officer, my career at the time, because I always wanted, since I was a kid, since playing with my G.I. Joes, I wanted to be a good guy. That was my thing. But before then, I wanted in video games, and I never wanted to make them because I feel it would ruin it for me. So I worked for Funkoland, and I was a manager of my own store.
Wow, I remember Funko Soft?
Yes, on Central Avenue in Central Avenue in Yonkers.
Oh, YO!
Yeah, right over next to me. Right next to me. Right next to me.
So,
that YO New Rock City talk.
Yeah, so it was like I said, I never got away from it. I used to be a big importer.
That was us.
Yeah, that was us. That was us too.
You went to Canal and Elizabeth? You went down to Canal and Elizabeth?
Penguin Village,
all that stuff.
You went to Penguin Village?
No, but I used to go to his place in Queens where the guy's nickname was Grandfather.
We know about that. Yeah, we know that. We know that spot.
He know the spot.
We traveled the city for games, man. I'm talking about Queens, Brooklyn, man.
Mrs. Ping in the Bazaar.
There was a spot on St. Mark's by the Cube. I think you bet me, King, I lost the bet to you stupidly because next to the store was a big cube, and you said, "I bet you I can push it," and I said,
you was like, "Nah, you can't push that cube."
And I was like, "Because I'm like, oh, you set me up." This was
listen. This is real quick. This is really quick because this is probably the best gotcha story. We walking and I seen a bum pushing it, and Cognito was talking to me. So I'm looking at the bum pushing it, and I'm like, yo, Cog, I bet you I can push that that square. Yo, the square is crazy big. It is ginormous.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't push that. So I go over to it, and I go,
struggling like you
right? And he's like, yeah. And I go,
And then boom, I was like, yo, you set me up. I was like, enough. I gave him his little money. I said, we going to the retro games though. I had enough of it.
Yeah, I used to shop at a place on Linden Boulevard in Queens.
Okay.
They had the two. They actually two spots, one around each corner. And if you walked a little up, there was a little bazaar there that back in the days they used to get the import games in way before. I mean, I had a PlayStation 1 almost. 6 months.
That was Mr. Lee's store, right? That was Mr. Lee's store. That was his partner.
Our guy had that store. He had like a chain of them. That was like one of his satellite stores. So we know what you're talking about because we had the plug, man. We had the guy.
Whenever the plug that a knife you bring your games back.
Like, so for example, to the younger generation in the chat, like put it like this. If PlayStation 4 came out, whenever it released, how it would work is we would get the Japanese import maybe 6 months. So we would have PlayStation, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, before it released in America. And a lot of the control was pretty much the same. In some games, you could even change the translation in UI and in game. So it wasn't that hard. So we got to play like Shenmue and all that stuff beforehand. Like it was a pattern that every time, like, hey, let's get the Japanese one. And a lot of times there was no, even with, like, correct me if I'm wrong, King, a lot of the systems, it was region free if you had the Japanese one.
That is correct.
So you could just hold on to it. So it was just a really cool time. And if you love gaming, you hunted it down. The internet, wasn't big for gaming like that. You waited for your Game Pro.
That's right. Your Game Pro, your diehard gamer.
That's how you got your news. And a lot of people don't understand it. So you had to really have a passion and
remember waiting for the VHS tape for E3.
Yes,
remember that we used to chip in the $30 for the E3 tape.
Yes,
sit there and watch the E3 videotape. Listen, we had to wait for it to come in the mail, and when we got it, we ran to the VCR and we top loaded and put it in. And if your joint was broke, you put books on top. Hey guys.
I got two.
I'll never forget, man. I wind up. I don't know if you guys remember this place, Dragon's Den in Yonkers. The guy Gary used to own the store. I'll never forget. He used to sell those damn E3 tapes for $30. Sure enough, went with my brother. We put our $15 a piece together. Went back to his house.
Tape, man.
And we saw Metal Gear Solid for the first time when him and the chick are firing the gun back to back, and I was like, yup, this is it. PlayStation is what it's all about.
That's what it's about, man. Two quick questions, and we'll move on from your video game history.
Yes.
Just specific generations that I don't hear about. I want to know, obviously, if you had them and what you remember from. One was the 8-bit era with Master System. The second I want to know about the what you call it, I believe it's 16-bit still kind of. With TurboGrafx 16.
Oh, that was my joint, bro.
Okay. And then the other one was 32-bit. Did you go 3DO? Did you go Jaguar? Because Jaguar's kind of in the middle. It was supposedly 64, but
here's
doubled it up.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to do a quick Jaguar story.
We got fun.
Everybody got a Jaguar.
Everybody's got a Jaguar story.
This is funny because just imagine this for a second now. Now, back in the days, I worked in a precinct that was in the Bronx, and we didn't have internet. There was no way to. The only way you found out if a game was coming in is you kept calling, and I was that guy. So I had called Dragon's Den, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'm calling to see if Aliens versus Predator is in. Yeah, we got it in. Oh my God, could you please hold a copy? All right, well, we closed.
I used to go,
Now, I was at a detail. Now, what that basically means is, I was working. I was in uniform, and I go over to my sergeant. I'm like, I got a question because I was new. I'm like, can I leave? Can I just pack it in because Aliens vs. Predator just came?
You told him that?
I sure did.
Salute that man.
And he looked at me and he said, "Boy, you better get back on your post if you want a job tomorrow." And I walked away with my tail tucked between my legs. I'm like, my God damn it! I really want this game. So don't you know? We get released from this detail now from Pelham Parkway. to Yonkers.
Talk, man.
Okay. Now back then, you know, I kind of drove a little bit of a souped up car, and I had a Chevy Super Sport.
Okay.
8-cylinder under the hood, 440. Okay. No joke.
Let's go.
And I made it to Yonkers in 9 minutes.
Yo, don't tell me you put the styrofoam on the top. And you like,
you did the Starsky and Hutch and just put it up on the top.
All I know is I was taking turns like the Dukes of Hazzard. I can almost say about that story. And I got there and got my game. And don't you know, that week I called in sick.
Yes, you did.
That's right. Salute that man. Salute Lord Boom on that one. That's
in regards to TurboGrafx, in regards to 3DO, you know, you got to remember 3DO. That was a $600 system when that joint came out. Yeah. That was big bucks.
That was big bucks.
But I had it. I bought it. I played the hell out of Kasumi Ninja. A lot of people don't know. You know, I'm really taking it back. And in regards to the TurboGrafx, I had that. But what a lot of people don't remember is still to this day, the best Castlevania ever released. Dracula X.
Symphony of the
and I had that game, and you know what? Don't you know I still have that damn card? I have it in storage.
I almost wish I had my TurboGrafx 16 Express.
I missed that. That was the best handheld ever.
Best handheld ever. I mean, it was picture perfect.
The battery life of a snail.
Switch King ain't got nothing on that battery life. Boy.
You put 8 batteries in, and 8 batteries came out 1 hour later. Dead.
Yeah, that was the time when you kept going back and forth to Radio Shack to buy batteries.
Those rechargeable batteries that last a half an hour.
No doubt.
You know,
I remember that.
You know, you guys are talking about Castlevania. A lot, like my favorite Castlevania is actually one everyone hates. Like
which one?
I really, really enjoyed Curse of Darkness. Like really enjoyed
it.
That's
the Nintendo 64 one?
I don't remember what it was on, but it had the innocent devils in it, and you had to like groom them and stuff. Like
don't worry, don't feel bad.
Like that.
I'm the same way. Like I do not pretend to be a Castlevania hardcore person. My favorite one, a lot of people hate, is actually 64 because I was just so impressed when you threw the chain.
A lot of people hated that game.
And the game used to rotate.
There's nothing like seeing a skeleton on a motorcycle in a Castlevania game.
That made me throw up in my mouth from coming from that Super Nintendo god of beautifuln's when you was in the tunnel and the world was rotating around you.
Because I was just so impressed by the graphics doing that and the chain. Wasn't that when Mode 7 and all that came out?
Mode 7, that's right.
I think the reason I enjoyed that game so much is because it was out of the norm for a Castlevania game. You didn't have that. Way for me. You didn't have that. Oh, you know, Dracula's back. Now I'm a descendant of the last loser that killed him. And so it was like
absolutely disgusting.
It was like Dracula's dead. I was a Jiro in his army, and now people try to get him back, and I don't want him back. So I'm gonna fight my own people to make sure he don't come back. And what's funny is the innocent devils, they were Dracula's powers. So like you were literally using his own abilities against him.
Yeah, man. This is great history, man. Love your video game system history. And very key what you mentioned was, like I said, connecting it to you being in law enforcement. Because back then, like you said, Lord Boom, like it wasn't really cool to be a gamer back in the day. Like
you guys don't have any idea how bad I had it at that precinct.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Like you was a giant baby or something.
No, listen, let me tell you, you got to remember. See, I'm a kid. I got on when I was 22. Right, I was a young kid, full of piss and vinegar. Right, because you know I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies. And back in the days, that's how they treated you, man. They treated you like dirt. Because you know you don't know whether you were a rat or whatever, and they don't like you guys because we don't know what we're doing, and or you know our things all just hanging out, swinging around all over the place, right? So you know, I remember saying when I took my vacation, like, "Hey, Boom, where you going on your vacation?" I'm not going anywhere. I'm playing Resident Evil 2.
Facts.
I took a vacation for Resident Evil 2, and don't you know
what's up?
That they turned my locker around.
Wow.
They put some dibs on that. It's crazy.
They hazed you at the station?
let me tell you something. It'd have been easier coming out and saying I was a gay man than being a video game player. And what's more crazy than that is nowadays is so mainstream that you just come out and you know what? If you aren't playing games, you are the weirdo.
Facts. Isn't it crazy how, like you said, it's changed. It's
all
cool
these
now.
kids that are coming out there now. I'm the originator in that priest, and I get no credit for it. I broke open doors.
You opened doors for us all.
Yeah. When we grew up, we changed the narrative.
Yes.
Like that's the whole thing. Like, this is why our movies are good. This is why Transformers is good. This is why G.I. Joe is good. This is why they're gonna make a Thundercats. This is why all those Marvel movies is good. We grew up. We are in control right now. So the fact that we are in control, these systems, you know, that guy that did a motion engine for that PlayStation probably had an Atari 2600 and was sick to his stomach with those graphics and sat there and said, "Not on my watch, not
Absolutely.
today."
You're making a good point. A lot of those guys grew up. Yeah, a lot of those. Because I remember, you know, we used to talk about this.
The greatest day in the world is when my generation takes the reins.
Oh my God!
That's when it all stops. That's when the big crash happens, because it's over. Y'all, big crash. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna get into your generation. You realize your generation.
You realize people in my generation, the majority of the people making these games, right?
No, I do not know that, but I do know that we are in charge of you.
I guess.
We give you direction. We
gotta move. But
just because.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was fantastic, man. So pretty much I was going to ask you, then let's get to the podcast YouTube journey. So obviously we'll let you to crossfire with Lord Mooch and those guys, and then branching out to your own channel with Double Barrel Gaming.
It was a whim, really. Just a complete whim. I used to be the guy, the media guy, right? I had subscriptions to IGN and Giant Bomb and GameSpot and all these other things, and then something happened in 2013. The Xbox came out, and the media went from reporting it to opinionating it.
Yes.
And I started to see that the Xbox platform, which was my favorite platform, became the whipping boy, and for a lot of good reasons. This you take nothing away from Microsoft effed up. You cannot deny they're in third place, for a reason. I started to see that the media wasn't reporting the news that I wanted. So I heard from several people, and crazy enough, my nephew, 9, my godchild, 10, YouTube. And I'm like, what is this YouTube thing that everyone keeps talking about? I'm like the old man in the room.
That's me.
I'm like, oh, YouTube. So I typed in video games, and a whole bunch of sites came out. And the first one that popped up was Crossfire. So I was like, well, let me take a look at this. So I started listening to that, and I'm like, okay, there's some guys I don't really care for, but there's some guys I do like. Mooch specifically is responsible for where I'm at, and I give him all the credit for that, because I DM'd him, and I said, hey, listen, any chance that you have community members on your show? And he said, yeah, it's something that we do. Would you like to come on? And in June 2017, I got my shot, and I came on, and I was nervous. And if you listen to me, I'm speaking the same way I was speaking there, but I didn't have as much confidence behind the mic because obviously I'm new.
The podcast scenario takes time to build.
Yes, it certainly does. And what
shout out to Cat Daddy. He said this dude, Lord Boom, has just earned a new sub with the segment before.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. Thank you. I lost 4 in the last 6 hours prior to doing the show. I don't understand how that happened. I actually did a tweet. I'm like, does being a good guy piss off people? I don't know. I don't know. I thought being an a-hole did, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
So you got your shot.
So I got my shot, and then the next week he kind of asked me, "Do you want to do it again?" And then 2 weeks later he said, "Hey, we're getting a lot of good feedback. People like the way you speak. They say you have that old time radio voice, which which I hate my voice. I just want you to know that I hate it. But other people are like, yeah, he's like an old time radio
I was
guy.
rocking with you, man. When I jumped on Crossfire, I was like, yeah, I like this dude. He's definitely passionate, and you definitely resonate with a generation. Also, doesn't have a voice now. Like, I mean, let's be honest, like Lord Addict's generation, they're running things. That's just the facts. You know what I mean? There's no back to that.
How
generation.
you feel about that, King? Gotta have.
Oh my God. But
y'all gotta do something.
Listen. We're called OGs for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember. You know, I remember coming back. I remember coming onto the department. I'm like, look at all these old dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying?
That's how we was when we was young.
And don't you know that when I was getting ready to get out, I had kids calling me old dinosaur, and I'm like, you motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I look back and I was like, all I did is smiles. I'm like, you know what? You are right for that kid, because I said the same thing about the other old dinosaurs.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a cycle. But he gave me my shot. I did I did a few episodes, and then I became a regular. And then Mel from Coffee Casuals and Consoles asked me on as a guest. I came on once, and she got an outpour of like subs and messages. So she asked me to be a regular. So I did that. And then after doing it for a few months, I'm like, I'm really enjoying this.
Nice.
But I kind of want to do my own thing, because I wanted to, exactly what you said. I want to talk about what we did back in the days, but still be relevant, which is why I have 2 live shows.
Nice.
The Friday one is current news, and really the whole ideology behind the Friday show wasn't just for me. Okay. I try to get as many new guests on as I can, because I want to promote people the same way I was promoted. So it's my way of giving back and paying it forward.
Reach.
And the Tuesday show, which is the Booms Pop-Up Podcast, it varies in subjects. But like, for instance, this week's show is going to be 2007, a year in gaming, the greatest year in gaming.
Wow.
And and we're gonna talk about all the titles that came out, because that is still revered as one of the best years in gaming history for all 3 systems.
Absolutely.
So I like talking about the old stuff, and then I just really liked the responsibility of doing my own work, doing my own research, doing my own show, but at the same time promoting others. That's really what it came down to.
Well, Dalla, we appreciate what you're doing, man. Very, very positive stuff in the community. I try to get a chance when I can, because actually I work nights, so when I come in the morning, I actually could catch Breakfast with Boom, because I'm off work now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, really good show. I believe you had was it Microbox and a couple other guys that I know. Yeah, and I was just like, wow, that was cool to see. Great topics, good stuff. Much respect there. So we're gonna ask this. We ask this to every guest. So basically, Lord Boom, what's your top 5 games or franchises of all time?
Well, that's actually super easy, to be completely honest.
Okay, you go first.
Resident 2, number 1.
Woo! That's
Resident 3, number 2.
Wow.
Because Nemesis is probably the best.
That's when they expanded on him. Yeah.
Best characters. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, number 3. Yes. Strong PlayStation title. Final Fantasy 7, which I beat, by the way, in Japanese the first time on my import, and then re-beat it again in English.
Import? You started to figure out all that text, how to do the summon.
You started printing out those game facts.
Oh, the game facts,
FAQs and game facts. Like that must have been like 300 pages.
Oh my god, my mother was mad as hell because she had to go out and buy ink.
Sovereign put me on the game facts, and that's how I beat it.
Yes.
You guys
FAQs.
That's the difference between your generation and my generation. Apparently, it's okay to use game facts in this generation.
You gotta watch a video where someone else talks about it.
Yeah, don't even go there, because I actually told somebody go watch the video on how to get the whisper and then come back to me. So your generation has it at the.
Well, I mean, to be fair, King, like.
We've always had it. We had Game Genie, we had Game Facts, and we got YouTube now.
What you said?
I used to call the Sega hotline.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, remember that?
They used to send me a packet worth of like tips and tricks. My mom was like, "What the hell is Sega sending you? Like manuscripts?" Like that's
the
how I used to
Nintendo
get my tips.
hotline. You know, call the Nintendo operator. You cost your father and your mama $20 per call. To get that Zelda hint. I can't get through this wall. How do I do it?
How do I do it?
Because it was the bomb, and you're good.
All I'm saying is I beat all the Final Fantasies without that shit. So
oh my god,
that's nice.
No
yeah,
doubt. So
in English.
Okay, so
I don't see you playing nothing in Japanese.
It's not my fault you wanted to damage yourself like that.
Yeah, we couldn't wait, dude. It's hard to wait.
I understand right now that he's talking that talk, and we are all bonding with him, and you are alien in this situation. And I feel like I understand that.
This is good because he gets to understand his perspective. Yeah. Like Addict don't understand this like, craziness that we talk about.
Why would you do that to yourself? I want the easy way. No, brother. We sat there and said, "What is he saying?" Like, you know how right now you play that game and you don't use like your little magic spells or whatever. Yo, we didn't know that magic spells was there. No. Listen to me. We didn't know magic spells was there because we couldn't read Japanese.
We couldn't figure it out. Do you realize the first time I tripped up Knights of the Round, I was like,
"Oh, what the hell?
What just happened?"
Exactly. No doubt. So let's recap. Let's go. You said
let's go.
And Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2, Symphony of Night.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 7. What's the fifth?
And my fifth one, Ninja Gaiden Black,
okay.
which I beat on hard. OPS by the way.
Nuts.
So what difficulties you beat that on?
Who, me?
What difficulty did you beat that on?
Who, me?
Shots fired.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I didn't even beat it. I didn't even beat it. Look at Addict. I didn't even beat it. Did you play Vectrex? Shut up.
I mean, it's whatever. I'm talking about here now.
Go sit down.
I'm just curious how you on the podcast.
Did you have a turbo graphics? Did you have a turbo graphics? Listen, if your gaming history starts at a cube, please sit down and be quiet.
I mean, it's whatever. I'm beating the games. I guess if you back then you just didn't beat games, so it just carried over from you. Did you
play the original Donkey Kong in the arcade and put your quarters up? If you didn't do that, could you please be quiet?
Arcade.
So you're just
there when Street Fighter came out
before I even was born.
Gotcha.
Did you beat anything this year? Can you please be quiet?
And I want you in this segment to understand that you are in the realms of the old school Lord. And I just want you to sit down and talk. See, that's the problem with your generation. Your generation don't listen. Your ears is all clogged up. You need to just unclog your ears and soak it up. Soak it up. That's all you got from
the games. That's the problem.
See what it is? Listen. Cognito, he has to make his.
If it wasn't Spider-Man, I would be surprised you beat the game this year.
Listen, he has to make himself relevant right now.
Ain't no
right now by injecting yourself into the situation. Did you beat the Spire in your Destiny 2?
What?
Oh my God. This is going left.
What Spire?
Oh, see, exactly. You don't even know about that raid because you ain't even been in there. So I think
a lot of time to get into. It could be the old heads versus the young bucks.
Sit down. I beat things that interest me. It don't interest me.
We got the top 5. You buy stuff and it sits in the wrapper.
Shut up. Y'all gonna stop. So that's the top 5. That's cool. So Lord Boom, I just want to get into obviously we know, you had the love affair for Evil Dead. Is that all based, your name all from Evil Dead and the horror games? Like, is that shit your MO?
Well, horror games, it's not just my favorite genre. I like the open world action adventure kind of games. But the whole Mr. Boomstick XL definitely comes from Evil Dead. It's me and my brother's probably favorite film of all time.
No doubt.
And again, it's campy horror. You know what I'm saying? But it was fun. It was fun horror. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's what the the Double Barrel Gaming and Mr. BoomStick it came from. Those names are derivative of the Evil Dead franchise.
I seen it. I had to give it a shout. I was like, I know what he's doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was dope.
Absolutely, man. So obviously, fantastic history games. We got a lot of stuff to get into. So we're gonna move on. So quickly, what are the Lords playing right now? So let's start with Lord Boom. What are you playing right now?
I'm playing, when the summer comes around, we all of us have backlogs of shame.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, I'm trying to hit that 300,000 gamer score. I'm just short of 50,000 short of hitting that, and I don't know if I'm going to hit it by the end of the year. But I've been chopping down the backlog and kind of like getting at these Telltale games that I
you'll get those 1,000-point games still.
Yeah. So I never, I know what the ending is because obviously it's a game as old as hell. But I'm playing through. I just beat Michonne, the 3-part series, which was fantastic. You get to hear, if you're a fan of the Walking Dead, you get to see her backstory with her kids. That's deep. Right?
That was deep. I did like that one.
And I'm playing through Walking Dead season 1. Nice. I'm really enjoying it. I started it, I think, like 2 or 3 times on the 360 and the PS3, but I never got around to like episode 2. I just started episode 3. And last week and the week prior, I beat Guardians of the Galaxy. I beat Batman season 2.
Okay,
you killing Telltale game.
You get your nice points with those. Like it's quick.
Yeah, you definitely do. But you know what? I wasn't doing it just for the points. It was a shame that I never got around to these games because they don't take that long.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? And we are in a lull, and it's not going to ramp up until like the middle part of September.
So you got to knock them out now.
Yeah. So you have your Tomb Raider, you got your Spider-Man. Definitely those are big ones, and obviously you got your Call of Duty Black Ops is a big pass for me because that's a multiplayer only. But so I'm trying to chop down some of this backlog of shame, and I'm kind of cruising along.
Oh, good, man. That's good. Lord Addict, man. What are you playing recently?
I've been playing some. I'm about to start playing Dead Space probably here today. I've been playing a little bit of Destiny, and I've been playing a lot of Persona 5, and that's pretty much all.
Kai Bots was very happy to hear this.
Yeah, I've been about to finish up the second palace.
Okay, cool. So just pretty much that's been taking up a lot of your time.
Yeah, I've been moving and stuff, so I haven't played a whole lot. But I played Persona 5 for about an hour and a half this morning.
Oh, wow, that's what's up.
Right before the podcast.
Right before? That's what's up. Lord Sol, what have you been playing, man?
Still playing a lot of Hollow Knight on the Switch. I picked up the Mega Man Legacy Collection, the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, the first part, with the first 3 Mega Man X games, which are the best ones out of the bunch. So I touched that a little bit. I pre-ordered Dead Cells on the Switch. That game came out in early access on PC last year.
I didn't even know you can pre-order stuff on the Switch. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh man, that digital conversation beef was so funny. Continue.
They're moving up. So I got that pre-ordered for next week. That is like a Metroidvania / roguelike that got a lot of positive buzz when it went into early access last year. So it's 1.0 as of Tuesday, and that's for the PC, PS4, I believe. I don't know if it's coming to Xbox immediately and Switch, so it'll be officially out. And then what else? And you won't believe me, but I was I was quietly on the Xbox trying to finish Curse of Osiris.
What? Offline profile Illuminati. No one knew.
Listen, I want to finish the story. The thing is, you guys don't care about playing story stuff with like a group and like destroying it.
First of all, I'm the biggest Osiris fanboy.
I'm gonna address that right now. I'm gonna address that because you just did something that I really cannot stand. But I'm going to address that when it's my turn.
I don't like playing the story stuff in groups because when they're talking, people have seen it. I don't like doing it. As soon as I'm done with Curse of Osiris, you will see me online. I want to play Warmind. I want to get my numbers up.
Selfish single player experience. If y'all wonder why I come up with that.
Lord BoomStick knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
I hear where he's coming from with some though, but once in a while, it would be nice to get an invite and see you online.
Once that's done, you will see me online. I'm
live. We haven't seen it.
It's been quite some time. I promise.
Get a monkey punch. What are you? First, hold on in the chat. Shout out to my my brethren, Jay Fonzarelli. Happy born day, bro. Happy
birthday, Jay.
Salute him. Salute. That's one of our favorites in the realm, man. We definitely got to get
everybody
back.
Give him a happy birthday, please.
Absolutely, man. That's royalty in the chat right now. Lord King, what you been playing, man?
Okay. Well, that should never be questioned this week of Solstice of Heroes.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I have 2 characters that are purple. I'm working on my 3rd character to get him the purple. Now, by me speaking that speak right there, only if you're playing Solstice of Heroes will you understand what I'm talking about and how difficult and hard that situation and what serious part of a grind that is. Now, I would like to give a shout out to the clan. The clan, we had 3 full pages up and running this week. That means 3 full pages of clan members out here getting busy. What I don't like by you guys and what y'all do is y'all send me a message. Y'all see me in the chat. If the chat's not full of 16 people, I want you jumping in.
Just jump in.
I want you asking questions.
Ask questions. If you need help, we'll run you through, man. Yeah.
It's pure gaming. Everybody on that list, I want you to go through your clans list, and I want you to pick a guy and talk to him, get in the room, make a chat. It's a party. It's a party. So please be courteous when you come in the party.
Yep.
Yes.
Don't come in the party dropping F-bombs and this, that, and the third and slurs and stuff like that. Come in there, feel the temperature of the room, get to know people in there, and then let it grow. I would like to give a shout out to a lot of new clansmates that I've met. Drag, Def Clutch, which he is absolutely probably the funniest guy going, new funny guy. He has the most adorable daughter. Man,
I want to shout out Buddha Time.
Buddha Time, yes. I was just about to say Buddha Time.
Yes.
These guys are jumping in and they're making themselves known. Shout out to the our super try hard gamers, Tag, Chris,
Chris,
Hardcore,
Dino.
Dino. These guys are seriously
sinister,
Hawaiian sinister. These guys are bringing my gaming up to a whole nother level. All right. And we are reaching back and pulling everybody up. If you need raids and stuff, this is really not the week to come at us because we're trying to train our characters up to get them all to purple. And then we're going to start doing the raids from there and knocking off those checklists so we can get our masterworks on our armor and have everybody 405. So we're playing really hard. But that's the only thing I've been playing. I don't even play on the weekend, but I've been consumed with this game. Destiny is back in such a way that it took my PUBG time.
Yeah,
I said, you will not cheat on me again at all. At all. Like, cheating is not an option. I don't want to hear. I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain that, you didn't have content. Destiny doesn't. The grind is gone. The grind is back. Where are you? All right. Also, if your clan doesn't play actively, because I'm not playing with non-clan members. I'm going to let you know right now. It may sound like I'm bougie or because I jumped in a room and the dude was in there that was in part of my clan. And I said, yo, are these dudes in the clan? He said, no. And I left. I don't have time for them because I have clanmates that need it. You got guys that only work on the weekends that need to get the whisper, who needs help in Crucible because we got to do Crucible. So we rather run as a team.
Rather than play with the blueberries.
If your clan is not running, if your clan is not playing, if you're ranking high and you're getting your clan stuff and they're not there for you, leave them. Join us. Iron Lords Podcast. Join us. Leave them alone. Throw them in the bushes because they're not worth your time. You push them in the bushes, you throw them in the bushes, you kick them in the bushes, and you bring yourself over to us where you'll be valued.
We're going to bring them up. I like that.
And those bushes have stickies, so you're going to get pinched. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Thorns in them bushes.
No doubt, Lord King, man. Pretty much the same thing for me. It's been pretty much Destiny almost full time. Summer of Solstice taking up a lot of my time. I snuck in both the EA Access demos of Madden 19 and
Madden looks dope, dude.
Madden looks good, man. 4K. It's just so beautiful in 4K HD. Oh, it's just
taking a stance against that game.
Yeah, I know. We'll say I was gonna save
Yeah.
that for a special guest. So hold on to that thought because we're going to address that at some point. I'm not gonna let that slip. I have the perfect guest for that topic, and it'll be a surprise hopefully within the next week or two. But yeah, NHL 19, and then still what I can't talk about, which is killing me. I'm still on the Halo Master Chief Collection, but very positive stuff.
Dude, the screenshots coming out for that. Oh my goodness!
If they,
I'm in like in the third round. I'm waiting for.
Oh, okay. I'm at the top level. I'm
in the third round for that. I cannot wait to be to check that out.
Fantastic from what so far. So more to disclose as the weeks go on. But let's get into the poll. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with the rumors of a second Xbox Scarlet Cloud SKU being discovered, how confident are you that Microsoft can resolve the latency issues generally associated with cloud gaming? The winner at 55% in a fairly competitive three-way ILP poll was yes, Microsoft is on the right track with Scarlet Cloud. Coming in at second at 23%, it was the no, not confident in Scarlet Cloud over traditional consoles group. And coming in at a razor close third place at 22% was the I don't care, Microsoft power of the cloud is equal to Skynet.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
All who participated in last week's poll, but I want to first shout out a huge friend to the realm and a man of respect, the Great Wall himself, Lord Bill Stillwell from the Xbox platform and backward compatibility team, who had a very cryptic 3-word response on Twitter to our poll. And all he said was, "I'm pretty confident," which was that was very surprising to me. And me and Lord Attic had this discussion offline as well as Sov, and it was just one of those things that, like, wow, and the reason why I say it, because obviously we, Lord Bill's a friend to the realm, and we know his role at Microsoft. He has to deal with backward compatibility, so if anybody might have some insight, he would be the guy. So to see him come out strongly, with that, response, what do you think, Lord Saw? What do you think, Lord Attic, like in reference to what maybe he has seen already?
That, I mean, listen, that's all it took for me to be like, yep, they're on the right track. Like I said last week, that's all it took for me. Like I said last week, I don't see them making a hard push into this unless they figured something out.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to come out with the same tech that we've been seeing for years. Mm-hmm. So I'm just excited to see what that is.
To see what it is.
Yeah, I really am.
Lord Boom, what do you feel about this the poll, the whole latency thing, and our good friend Lord Bill Stillwell?
Well, let me just say this: Microsoft, we have seen from 2013 to just before E3 2018, a Microsoft on the ropes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and I'm saying this is not to insult anyone's plastic box, but you have to admit that there is a changing of the guards in regards to confidence.
Yes.
With Microsoft and Sony, because you see, since E3 2018, Microsoft has been coming out like the bully. Right?
Loves this talk, by the way.
Dropping lots of information, lots of SKUs, lots of secret information, hiring at this company, buying this company, word we may see another one or two companies being bought up and announced at Gamescom. These are all the hot ticket information that we've been getting from the Microsoft camp. Whereas Sony has had really kind of been, they kind of fumbled a few times, you know what I'm saying? And now we're first and goal on their one. Okay? Because you had the crossplay incident, right? That's kind of still hanging out there.
A lot of negative press behind that.
Right? Then you have all of these, these fumbles with, with press and, mistakes that you don't see Sony making. So when you see Microsoft saying, yeah, we have our traditional box underneath your TV, so don't sweat it, old school gamers. But if, let's say, for instance, you're that old school gamer, listen, let's call a spade, guys. There are a lot of people that own multiple Xboxes.
Yes.
Right? Because, you may have one in your den, you may have one upstairs, you may have one for your son or your daughter, right? Game share 101, right?
One in the living room, one in the bedroom.
Absolutely. So what's wrong with them?
The stream being the second.
There you go.
And
if it's going to be
and
if it's going to be $100 or $150, I guarantee that you will be going out to buy that. But I got one even better. What did Phil Spencer say he wanted to do? He wanted an Xbox in every mofo's house.
Yes.
And when you're telling people that we can stream 4K visuals to your TV for $150, people will be that is the magic price point that would get someone, the casual gamer, that will get the PlayStation 4 gamer to say, wait a second, for $100, $150, I can get a new Xbox and be playing what? I'm gonna check this out. And that's how they're gonna get that box, that small little box, in everyone's house.
And just to double down on what you said, because we kind of talked about this last ILP, and I want to shout out the Xbox 2 Rand and Just Going, fantastic show. Basically, they kind of on the same way that what we're on, which is kind of like, look, if they can pull it off, obviously latency is always an issue, data caps are always an issue, your internet was always an issue, but if they can pull it off, not only do you have a cheap, affordable console that can, be appealing to a casual market, but then they're talking, remember, Phil got on stage. He said they showed mobile devices. You know what I'm saying? If they're reaching this target number that they're trying to get into the billions or whatever it is, that you can't penetrate that market with just consoles. And you look at markets they're weak in. Like, again, me and King talked about this last ILP, like Japan, and stuff like that. You have this thing able to do on a mobile phone or mobile device on any stream, even if it's not 4K. Let's just say it's 1080p 60, or based on whatever your stream requirements is. That's pretty appealing. So again, it's early. We still don't know all the details. We still don't know everything, but based on what the rumors are suggesting, with them trying to eliminate the latency with the the actual chipset in the box and for inputs and stuff like that.
Right.
This is something that no one else is doing. This is not similar to a PS Now. This is not similar. There's some aspects in NVIDIA Shield that is in there, but it's not a one-to-one match. This is also them expanding on something. And like Lord Sop said, if they're talking, they may be confident in something that may be a breakthrough. And if it is a breakthrough, that would be huge for the industry. So great question right there, and great topic for Lord Bill Stillwell and Boom. Let's get into these joints. You obviously know I have a new LP cooking up at the end of the show. Lord King.
Real quick before we go into the topics, real quick. Lord Cat Daddy graciously offered to re-roll his $20 gift card. He's feeling in a giving mood, so we're gonna do that real quick.
Okay, shout out to Cat Daddy.
Shout out to Cat Daddy and Relevant Native. Yes, he gonna win again. He gonna win again. If you roll and he win again, it's rigged.
Yo, we gotta for real, you gotta burn that thing.
Just like King and Kratos are wanting to save, me and Cat Daddy are wanting to save. It's all coming back in my pocket.
All right, let's get it.
All right, real quick. So the winner of the $20 gift card, thanks to Cat Daddy Fat Stacks, is
better not be Cat Daddy again.
Lord J. Fonzarelli.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
No doubt. I feel good about that one. That
J. Fonz, hit me in the DMs, brother. We'll get that to you. Thank you, Lord Cat Daddy.
No doubt. Let's get these topics, man. I know we're going a little long, so we got to pick up the pace. Lord King, you are up NPD news. So the bet is over. You bend the knee?
What are you talking about? There we go. And you know what? That's not a split. That's not a split. I knew I put that. I knew I put that right there in that chat. But you know what's crazy?
I'm trolling.
No, you're not trolling. Technically, yes, I will have to bend the knee on that. To be honest with you, and I'm going to, because that was unprecedented. What happened was something, because it's a Nintendo product. So it's a Nintendo product, and here go that knee. There you go.
Oh wow!
There you go, that knee.
Bro.
All right. So yeah, no problem, man. I don't care about that. So now check this out. Check this out, guys, because I didn't see this one coming. The Nintendo Mini won July MPDs. Isolated system. This is how you know gaming is at its purest form is when you can just game how you want to game, where you want to game, with what you want to game, right? And this system has taken on a life of its own. Now, I'm pretty sure that Nintendo had all the thoughts and ideas of putting Virtual Console in the Switch.
Yes.
It was a success before, so it should be a success now. But this Mini is winning. Why should we make a Virtual Console on the Switch when we could sell these games 15 at a time on these little boxes and get it out there? My question to the realm, is the success of the Mini at the detriment and the demise of the Virtual Console on the Switch?
Let's get Addict in on this. I'm very curious about his position on this.
I've said from the start they're not going to do nothing because that's selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, bro.
Did you see it win in July though?
Yeah,
No, I see Minis winning July. I mean,
yeah, isn't that crazy?
I mean, it's. I guess they just restocked.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you know, I know it's true. Shout out to my job. I actually work with a lot of gamers, and one of my boys actually, like a week or two ago, he comes up and he's like, "Yeah, man, I got it." Whatever. But I'm like, "How you get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, what? I don't know if it was Amazon or whatever. They must have been a huge restock. It has to be because I'm noticing people now posting it and getting it up. But to still, you know, to beat a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox with the Mini, like, that's crazy. What do you think about this, Boom, man? Like, where you at?
Well, let's bring some knowledge out there. Okay. First of all, it launched on November 11th, 2016.
Good point.
Okay. We are now in August 2018.
Winning NPDs.
Okay. So we're almost coming up on 2 years. Listen, the thing is this.
To be honest with you, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Switch need to hold an L for that because that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, look. There's a couple of things you got to remember here. First of all, it's the summer and it's slow, right? So it's smart on Nintendo to push these out the door. But more specifically, they're $60. They're the price of a game, and you're getting 30 games. And you know what? Gaming in 2018 isn't your teeny bops. You know, there are 30, 40, and 50-year-old people gaming. And to be quite honest with you, you're getting a perfect representation of those older games in one little box.
Well, it's the people that would purchase this, they're the ones that have the financial revenue to buy these things.
That is correct. In regards to whether or not this
the biggest bulk of like the 20-year, like the high teens and 20-year-olds, most of them aren't buying this.
They're playing Fortnite. That's what they're doing. Yeah, fact. Because they can't afford to buy games. They got to wait for mom and pop. I mean, we were all there. I mean, listen, I'm not going to front. I hustled for my gaming. Yeah, where was no waiting. I don't care if I had to do 16.
We had to do.
Yeah. So, but in regards
that's what I'm talking about.
In regards to hurting the virtual console, you know what? It absolutely is. And here's why. We know that we have the NES Mini and the Super NES Mini, and we know, and it's already facts out there. And I did a story on my channel months and months ago about how in the trademarks, the N64 Mini was trademarked. So we're going to get an N64.
We're getting that. Yeah,
we're definitely getting an N64,
and we're going to get a GameCube one because that was rumored as well.
No doubt about it. In fact, GameCube.
I'll buy the N64 one and the GameCube one.
Yeah, probably N64 is probably one of my favorites.
They're coming for your dollars.
And I'm
going to buy the Switch Mini.
Oh my god! I'll tell you like that, when they do the N64 Mini, if there's some way, and I know this is cutting into Saab's rant later. I mean, if there's some way to can get them wrestling games, I don't know if the license issues, because in my license,
you'd love to see WrestleMania 2000 in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right
no
there.
mercy, no mercy, all that good stuff. Absolutely.
But you know, the reason why, okay, you got to look at it from two ways. Yes, it's hurting it, but at the same time, do you want to be the cat like me that buys Super Mario World for the 17th time? You know what? I'm just saying, because we all did that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't transfer the licenses. So the Wii, the Wii U, you know, the Game Boy this, Game Boy that, you're buying these games one after another. I actually don't mind the minis having like a little collection of games. You just plug it in and you go. You play it for a week, you put it away, and then when you get nostalgia bug, you put it out and you play it again. So don't be surprised that once they're done releasing these minis, because there are only so many Nintendo consoles. There you're going to see an NES Mini 2 with these 30 games that weren't on the first one.
Yeah, I can.
You know what I'm saying? I can see that happening. And you know what? I'm such a boob that I will be going and buying those things, every one of them.
Nintendo milking the public.
Let me jump in, man. Yeah, they hustling. Listen, at the end of the day, just in reference to the actual MPD part, I just want to talk about that a little bit, and then I'll go into the mini. Yeah, I mean, the industry is just so healthy right now. Just seeing what's going on, and like with the mini just being a surprise. PlayStation 4, let's not forget, they still won in dollar sales. They still won in revenue. You know what I mean? So we got to give props to them on that. And even though everyone's like, oh, Xbox losing and Xbox is they're double. They nearly double for the month as far as hardware sales. So again, it's like me and King always say, we use a music reference, right? Where it's like, PlayStation is Drake right now. You know what I'm saying? They go platinum every, album, but you got Xbox going gold and still doing better than the 360 era in financially. So there's a misconception out there because they're not winning the MPDs that all of a sudden, it means that the system is a failure, right? And that you see that rhetoric. And as far as the mini, which is to King's question, which is like, yeah, I gave up, man. I can see the King's right. I just think it's one of those things. As bad as I want Virtual Console on the Switch, there's no way I can see it coming. I mean, these mini consoles are so dominant sales wise. They have no incentive to do it. They have no.
What's going to happen is, I guarantee you, when the GameCube comes out, the mini GameCube, that's when they'll start doing the Switch.
Yeah, they got to rock out this whole cycle. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. It's just a moneymaker. And my only personal hope.
And I think that mindset's hurting them overall right now. Like,
yes, people have said that.
It's like the 3DS thing. It's like, look, if I understand that's a huge market, but like you're trying to grow the Switch market. That's one of the reasons the Wii U failed, is because they were focusing too much.
They were focused too much on the
3DS. They built, and I'm like, I get it. It's a big, it's a big thing that you've built. It's a huge brand, but you are sacrificing the brand you're trying to build to maintain
to maintain the older one. No, and I get it. And here's the thing: we all know Nintendo beats to their own drum. And one thing, with the Wii being,
what's
Wii
funny is the other consoles, they will on occasional bend to like the social media aspect. Yeah. But Nintendo
ain't having
case,
they don't care.
We don't
care. At the end of the day, it's hard to fault them. Again, just if you look at it not as a gamer, if you look at it as pure business, it's hard to fault them to stop. The 3DS market is still huge, right? It's still selling.
See, I don't even.
The winning NPD, you know what I mean? Like, there is no incentive.
It's the best way to spotlight their stuff. I don't think we would have gotten Virtual Console in the same way that we have in the past, just because if you look at everything that Virtual Console encompassed in the past, it wasn't just their stuff. It was TurboGrafx.
Yes.
It was
my big issue.
That's why I'm pissed, because I got back into Nintendo, and like I'm a huge Shinobi fan, and I saw it was on Wii, so I'm like, oh, this is definitely coming to Switch. Now I can't get anything.
My big issue with them right now is I feel like, okay, Pokemon, like I want them to use their handheld like they did with like the N64, to where it complemented the N64.
Right,
it did.
Right.
It complemented the Wii.
Yes,
it complemented the GameCube, but they don't. It's like its own entity now.
Yes, correct.
And that's one of the issues they're having. Like, what they need to go now is, because they're both portable, they need to have like Pokemon, like the colors, like they've been doing. That's instead of having both of them on the 3DS or both of them on the Switch, split them up. One's on the Switch, one's on the 3DS, and they can cross play and play against each other.
I know that Lord Old School style. I don't stock in any gaming company, so MPDs don't mean anything to me. Just enjoying playing on whatever system. I feel you, Lord Old School style. I mean, just to finish my point, I think it's just one of those things that my last hope for any type of Virtual Console is when they launch this online service in September.
Yes.
And we know they're going to offer some free games. I just hope it ain't just ice climbing and that's it.
I think they will. I think that's one of the reasons that we haven't seen them put that in the market, is because they want to use it as like that get this, and you like. If you want my honest opinion, all they would have to do to keep a lot of people happy is put a bunch of those in like a service like Game Pass. But instead of Game Pass being its own entity with like price point, it's just like you subscribe to our online on the Switch, you get access to all these.
Listen, you know how many people would fly to that service, even because everybody's upset with it because of the voice chat situation. But people would fly to it for something like that. So,
yep, they sure would.
It's interesting to see, man. Ken, you got anything else on your topic before we move on?
No, I just realized that it is absolutely insane for them to even think about saying, nah, you know, we're gonna think about the consumer. I don't ever believe Nintendo was ever consumer friendly ever.
Never.
I believe that you know
people
at
least
like, consumer friendly.
Let's be real here, King. They just pretty much almost finished the Wii U. We all know they're gonna hit up that GameCube library, remake a bunch of stuff on that. Then
I told you that. I said all those
we're gonna
games
see Mario Galaxy.
For the Wii U.
We're gonna see Twilight Princess on the Switch.
You're gonna get the whole back catalog.
And you know what's funny?
And I can't wait for it.
80% of those remakes that they would do, I would buy on the Switch.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Luigi's Mansion, I would buy in the Switch.
Exactly. There's always that game, even though we complain with Nintendo practices. There's always that game. I'll buy that though.
But guess what? Luigi's Mansion is only on the 3DS.
Yo, we are such suckers when it comes to these dudes. Like, listen, they did this, and this is how much of a sucker we are for them. They said, "Here you go, play with this."
Cardboard, bro.
And it took off like hotcakes. Like we laughed. But it took off like hotcakes. We are such suckers. And listen,
you know what's funny?
If Microsoft would have said cardboard,
we laughed out the room.
No, it would have never made it. And I'm pretty sure somebody in the boardroom yelled out, "Yo, I got a cardboard game." Said, shut it up now.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, there's certain games out there that they could literally keep bringing back out on another platform, and I will. Like Final Fantasy VII, I've bought that like 6 times.
Yeah, there's always those games,
Final Fantasy IX, I've bought that 6 times.
Exactly.
All the Zeldas, I've bought at least 5 times.
They know that their base will bend the knee to those franchises.
They sure will.
That's just what it is. And that's why I can't knock it. I got to be Lord Corporate right now. I understand what they do.
If they brought a Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition for the Switch with Majora's Mask, hell, they can literally bring them all individually, and I would buy them all at $40 to $50 a pop. Because those games
they listening to you right now. They just heard listening to this. Just somebody in their room just said, "Ding, ding, 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 ding."
That's already in the pipeline.
Yeah, you know that's coming. You know that 3DS version is going to be upscaled and brought on the Switch, and so is that Majora's Mask. And look at it from the perspective when those games came out on the 3DS, they were huge. They sold really well. Yeah. The moment they come on the Switch, that's one of the reasons the GameCube did well when it first came out the door, because it came with the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition.
Yeah,
and people, if you look on eBay right now, that game with the case is for like $100.
Yeah. Real quick in the chat before we move on. Face 23BKNY just tells us that power really doesn't mean anything. And Victor Allison has a question for Saab. Red Dragon put out a video with a question asking why hasn't Xbox One MPD in almost 2 years.
Do we really want to tackle that?
We're just gonna have Saab answer it because really for him, you know what his answer was poor marketing. Saab, what's your answer as far as MPD
why they haven't won an MPD in?
They won an MPD. It has to be
that is fake news, sir.
Yeah. Do they need to fix their marketing? Yeah, I said this last week. They need to. Whenever the next consoles come out, they have to be very clear about their messaging, especially.
They gotta have good communication.
Scarlet Cloud, absolutely. Yeah. Like if they don't, it's tough because you're not gonna get the casual person understanding what you're trying to sell.
And I just actually watched that video not too long ago, like an hour ago, when I was driving back.
Yeah.
When it comes to that particular, like, I have to agree with Red Dragon. It's not a coincidence that around when the S came out, that's when Forza Horizon 3 and all that started dropping gears.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence. The S helped, but it was those bomb games that dropped every month for 4
exclusive sell, brother.
But it is, yeah,
Preach.
absolutely. Yeah,
Because,
shout out to
like,
Master Shake.
multi-plats keep people on the platform, but exclusives get people to buy the
They
platform.
hold their weight, man. They hold their weight.
Yes,
Last
they do.
comment from the chat on this topic. Irrelevant Native. He said, "Can we get a new Patreon tier that would make Lord King play those Nintendo cardboard Labo games, all of them?"
He just said all of them, right? Yo, listen, I thought you was my friend.
Notice he said finish.
I thought you was my friend. I thought you was my friend. Listen, I ain't paying Attic no mind. Attic got the time in the world to sit there and play one game until his eyeballs bleed. That's his business. But
you can play.
Listen. I'm buying multiple games.
Okay.
Listen, I got stuff I want to see and stuff I want to play. Please leave me alone.
Man, Patrick's still in the wrapper.
Yo,
and on that note,
exactly.
No,
time out. I gotta address this man. I gotta address this man for one reason. Why is my gaming habits affecting you?
It's affecting me mentally, man. I feel like, I'm a little uneasy, like I'm going to turn into a werewolf or something.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Took care of.
Let's eat Addict's issues. So he's up next. Addict, man, what you got? Your favorite franchise. What's going on, man?
Well, I mean, there was a website that came up randomly.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
It's been debunked already, but like I kind of
shout out to Lord Sam. Put it out there, man. TICGamesNetwork.com. Let's go.
But like I feel like maybe someone like I still think it's still legit because like here's the thing, like the way that first off it was called Reaver. Okay, let me just explain.
Give us the history because us non-Fable, my non-Fable self needs to be educated.
A website was leaked and it read Reaver Industries. That's the exact name of a character that was in Fable 2 called the Hero of Skill. He was a hero of skill. He's one of the main characters.
Okay.
He was pretty much like that. The dude that didn't care. Like in Fable 3, he was trying to get you to sign off on child labor and
like Reaver Industries, in Fable 3 Reaver Industries was like the underlying like corporate like monopoly in the whole world that was like controlling everything, and they like again they had like slave labor, child labor, like all kinds of grimy stuff.
Oh my God.
The whole point of Fable 3 is like you try to overthrow this deity.
Okay.
So when you get all these people to help you do it, but the plot twist of the game is at the end of Fable 3, you had to make decisions as the king if you were going to abide to what you promised these people throughout the whole game. Okay. And one of them, and so it was pretty much going like a courtroom. Like on the left was the person that you promised, and on the right was Reaver. And one of them was like they enslave our children. They do this, they do that, and what's funny is like they'll come at you, and then Reaver will come pretty much on the side. He'll be like, "Okay, man, I know what he said. Look how much money we gonna lose if they do it."
Like this dicey businessman cohort to try to influence you. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie, there was child labor in my game. There was. Hold on, no,
you had the children making Nike.
There was a lot more. There was a lot more. There was a lot more.
He had them in the sweatshop making Nikes. What's going on?
But anyway, so what happened is he had his own logo. This website was brought up that said Reaver Industries. It had the logo that was it was the exact logo. Now it does look like it was different, but I would go around that. Walmart's logo hasn't looked the same in 10 years.
Right.
People change their logos. It's still the same, but it's reimagined as the same logo. Like for instance, our logo. We've had the same logo, but we put different. The design's been different. So that
native, he's stupid. He said it all makes sense now. Attic hates Nintendo because he hates kids as a family.
But anyway, look, man. When Reaver came up to me and was like, 200 billion if you don't make these kids do your work, I was like, here, have mine.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. No remorse. No remorse.
Wow. He said it makes sense now.
But the website was part of it. They did publicly say it on their Twitter account that it wasn't connected to Fable. But I'm like, look, if you have a company called Reaver Industries, you have a logo that is first off on the website, it said open to the public in 2020,
which is what we assume the next Xbox.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, there is a good chance that this was clearly not a coincidence. This was clearly just a coincidence.
Right.
Someone else took that, and one would think if they made that, wouldn't Microsoft have copyrighted that name, Reaver Industries? Like, I don't know how that works, but anyway. But when you put it from that perspective, you can take it as it's just a complete coincidence, has nothing to do with Microsoft, or you could go to the direction, well, someone accidentally launched it and didn't realize they launched it, and because it's just too many similarities.
Listen, Attic, I know you are the conspiracy theorist at the table, but I have to kind of feel where you're going, because it's almost too coincident a rumor. For that, you know what I'm saying? Now let's just clarify. I'm gonna give it right back to you. Let's just clarify what Lord Sam put out there in the article. Fantastic article following this whole Reaver Industries.
Someone needs to put that in the comment section.
Yeah. So basically, they've now come out since and said, as big fans of the Fable series, we're sorry to state that this account is not owned by Microsoft or any of its affiliates. It is not a hint to a new Fable game. So they tried to get in front of it and kind of debunk that. But like, what do you guys think? Like, I mean, I know how you feel about it. But go back on what you feel about it.
At the end of the day, it's probably just a coincidence. But I'm like, if you have Reaver Industries, which is the exact name they used in the game, you have pretty much the exact same logo, and you have 2020 being open to the public. That's a weird statement to use on a website. Open to the public, like. The public. Why would you state something like is it like a park or something? Like, why is it open to the public?
Let's get Lord Boom in, man. Boom, what do you feel about all this Fable rumors? And obviously also added, we didn't talk about the bigger news, I felt, which is obviously Playground with the
irrelevant. Yeah, I just got to state something irrelevant. The moon landing was fake. Okay, just like the Earth is flat, so we got to go with that.
Oh my! Don't get kicked, please. Let's leave it alone. All right. What I was gonna say about Playground, obviously they've got the second studio, right? And this is going to be most likely dedicated to this quote unquote top secret project, aka Fable. Come on, because we all know it's Fable. And they've made all these hires, right? They got like some environment artists from Star Wars Battlefront 2. They got some also environment artists from various Bioware games, script writers from Batman Arkham. They got animators, Devil May Cry and Hellblade. Like, this is like an all-star hiring group. So Lord Boom, what do you feel about the rumors, and then also Playground Games in general? With Fable doubling down.
Well, I got something here. This is not any kind of inside baseball.
Oh, exclusive, Boom, exclusive. Everybody listen up.
This is my opinion for how I've been following the story. So if people take and run with this and somehow I get debunked, it's my opinion. It's not fact.
No doubt.
Okay. Now,
let me say Indian style real quick. Let me say Indian style.
Indian style. We got our feet at the table. Let's go. We're listening.
These hires is not the first round of hires. This is actually the third round of big hire.
Yeah, actually, shout out to Lord Sam. In the actual article, they actually hired people from like GTA 5 like 6 months ago.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5. There was a few big names up in there. Okay, now check this out. From what I have heard,
exclusive.
Okay, they approached Microsoft with an open world game that they were creating.
Right.
Okay.
I did hear that.
Microsoft, according to my sources, Phil said no, but would you like to do Fable? Now here's the thing. There has been way too much big name hiring for Fable 4. Okay. Here's my exclusive.
What you thinking?
Not only are they working on Microsoft's label, Fable, whatever, they're hiring for their game. And they're going to be.
Do you think they're going to make them both at the same time, or make Fable then make that one?
I think what they're doing is they're going to be making Fable and taking the knowledge from that game over to their own game, which of course is going to be under the Microsoft brand because Microsoft now owns Playground Games. Now again, this is complete speculation, but it's just too many big name hires for one game. It doesn't all point to
if you want my opinion, I really feel like that because I feel like Playground they weren't like OD'd on making Forza Horizon, but they wanted to make something different. They couldn't get because they went to multiple people to try to get that funding.
That is correct.
After they couldn't, I really think that Microsoft used that brand. It's like, look, like you guys want to make this, we can't like. Obviously, they've been burnt too many times. Like we already own Fable, so that's not an issue.
Yeah,
but we need your. I think they used that second studio to like with the agreement that they would fund that second studio to buy Playground in general.
There's a lot of people really want a new Fable game.
Because Playground was very open that they wanted to be independent, and then all of a sudden they're making a Fable now, and they let Microsoft.
Hold on, I gotta get at the chat right quick. Shout out to Delta Boy. He's like, none of you have inside information. Fable is trash. He's like, they need a new IP.
That's just silly now.
None of us said any of this is fact. It's all
the same dude that hyped up Shadow of War.
Secondly, Lord,
Shadow of the Colossal. Whatever.
Listen,
what's up,
Fable? If Fable is not a franchise you like, that's fine. All we're saying is that if these rumors are true, that if there's a second franchise, maybe that could be the franchise for you if you don't like Fable. So that's what we got.
Right. I mean, listen again. When you see a studio hire a couple of big name guys to be lead producer, lead art, artist, lead graphics guy, whatever, however you want to put it, you're like, okay, they're working on a big game. But when you start seeing them pull together so many, and these aren't just your regular,
these are all-star cast people,
right? These are people that have led teams.
Yes,
you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm not.
You know what I want to bring up real quick too? Sure. Like all the shine is on the second. Let's be right here. This second company, this second studio for Playground's getting all this the spotlight. It's looking like it's going to be like their go-to for RPG, and we still have no idea what Initiative is making. And that is literally the studio that was designed.
That's the quadruple A. Say it right, quadruple A.
So like it's nice to see that like Microsoft is like, look, we're tired of being made fun of over exclusives.
Yeah,
like, we are done.
Real quick, Boss Move says Playground Games Fable is going to have horse racing.
Look. I know that. I know people are laughing, but don't be surprised.
I won't be surprised. And then shout out to Sam. He says, keep in mind, new Fable was signed before Phil's promotion.
And people always try to like poke at me when I say that, I think Fable is going to be an Xbox, the next Xbox exclusive. And right there, where Sam just said, this game has been in development for a little bit.
Absolutely.
They're just bringing on people to help with the development now.
No doubt. Lord Sovereign King, so we can move on. What do you feel about this, the rumors, you guys?
I mean, I
don't care about it.
Yeah, I think I agree with BoomStick where it's like, you don't bring on these people for one game, especially a game that's been, let's say the game is sort of been in production a year and a half, maybe to 2 years. Like it's in the weeds in terms of this it's being developed now.
I'm not a fan of sitting there deciphering these codes and the stars aligned and last night they said that Kismet will be brought across
I gotta call you out on something, dude.
To the solstice to make it get together to form. It was a page.
What you gotta call about it? What you gotta call about it?
It could be a troll page.
No offense, but the entire Destiny community went together to solve a binary puzzle.
That is true.
It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in gaming.
That's
a year to figure out pretty much.
Yo, listen, I get that part, right? And that, like I said, that for me, I would have sort of paid, because when you posted it and I looked at it, I said, oh God, right? Literally, I said, oh God. And it's going to be a situation where people are deciphering the words. And if you take the first letter of every other word, it forms Fable. Like,
but
when they announced the game,
listen, that's what we do. Like,
I feel that.
If you think about every topic we're gonna have coming down the pipeline,
how many topics have we talked about that was actually confirmed? We do
like just Scarlet in general. Still a lot of speculation.
They talked about it though, right? They did say that it was coming.
Yeah,
I mean, we know that a Fable game is coming, and we do. Hopefully, I hope that it's on Scarlet. I hope it's a launch title like they learned from Zelda. It's be a game of that nature. Don't put it on this relic. You know, it's dead. This stuff is dead. They got
the way that it's looking. It's looking. There's a good chance. I don't know about Fable. Fable could come out the year after the next.
No, I wanted that day.
But it's looking like if I were to be a guessing man, it's looking like Halo and Fable are going to be launch titles.
Yes,
it may be if the stars align. It may be. So I'm going to finish the topic and we move on.
Yeah, maybe a Forza.
That's the same thing. Exactly. You'll have a Forza, right, to show off, like car games
the
always
real
show
power
off
of the system.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I think Fable is going to be a very attractive game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too.
It has to be. I don't know if you get both Halo and Fable. Like if the Fable thing is,
I think Fable is. Halo is for sure going to be a launch title.
No doubt about that.
I would say 100% chance. I mean 99. I'll say 99.
Oh, give us that 1%.
Because like the way I used to kind of think that the Xbox is coming out next year, but now that I look at it from that perspective, like I think that Gears is going to be one of the last big titles on the Xbox One X and S, and then the year after that they're going to do their own launch event for the next Xbox, and then that E3 they're gonna announce the next Halo with gameplay and Fable, and then that's when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's very possible. So I'll finish up this and then we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I think Fable can, if it's ready to go launch, I can see it only if Cyberpunk isn't coming out 2020 holiday.
Okay,
I think Cyberpunk's coming 2021.
Yeah, let's see. That one, everyone's excited for that. Lord Sov, what's going on in tech world, man? What's up with AMD?
Oh, okay, it's my turn. Okay,
is it? What out of curiosity, what was the topic you wanted me to help you school people with, King? Like,
no, you already did it.
Oh no, it was the Switch. It was the Switch. You already did it. You already did it.
Y'all were too busy. Y'all were too busy fighting about other things, and y'all forgot to link up. Let's move on.
These two people are listen, Addict, these two individuals are so happy that the infighting started right there on that topic that they didn't get a chance to get bashed. Like I was like, listen, listen, I totally threw Cognito off when I took the knee and I bent the knee. He's like, wow, that's crazy. So he just automatically just yanked my narrative away from December. So
it's all good. Lord, what's going on with AMD, man?
All right, so I have two quick little topics here. I want to talk about. Going back to what King was saying about speculation, right? Yeah. So this past week, there were two articles that I saw initially, an article by Anantech, and then a second article that came out yesterday from Richard Ledbetter at Digital Foundry, talking about how AMD has collaborated with a Chinese hardware manufacturer to create a new console hardware for the Chinese market, which has really not been seen before. And the interesting thing about this console is that is using the system on a chip the same way that you're using the PS4 Pro and the Xbox. So it's not traditional. It's traditional console hardware in that respect. But this same system on a chip is being used in PC hardware in China, which is very interesting because we haven't seen anything like that, and it could pave the way for smaller form factor, semi-powerful PCs in the future. Now, and the other interesting thing about this that goes to us speculating about the next consoles coming down the pipeline is that this is the first system on a chip that has been produced with Ryzen in it.
Which is what we was hoping for Scorpio.
Exactly. When we speculated a lot before Scorpio came out that they were going to use Ryzen on their system on a chip, and instead what they did was they souped up their Polaris cores, and thus we still have a CPU bottleneck. Right. So this is interesting because it's the first system on a chip we've seen with Ryzen on it. And from what they've talked about with the breakdown of this system on a chip is very close in power to what a PS4 Pro gives you. The difference is that it achieves it achieves that power in a different way than the PS4 Pro does. Okay. Because here they bump up the CPU, which is what people want to see. How
that's our frames right there.
The bump in the CPU gonna help the bottleneck, right?
Right.
So it has less RAM, right? So it's lower than the PS4 Pro in certain aspects, but the CPU prop up is what pushes it to that level. So one thing that Richard Ledbetter said, which is very interesting, is he said the CPU, like we've talked about, the CPU is the key. Is the key.
Absolutely.
If you can get a 3 gigahertz CPU in console hardware, you're essentially guaranteeing yourself 60 frames per second gameplay.
Absolutely.
So it's a matter of cost effectiveness, right?
No doubt. Let me ask you this question, because obviously you are a technical lawyer, but my thing was like ultimately how like you said, like I just want to know like how is this going to affect next generation consoles? We know PS5 is coming, we know Xbox 2 or whatever name they're going to call it is coming, and my main issue basically is cost effectiveness, right?
Right.
And like you said, 60 frames, because as powerful as the score is, right? We all know that the CPU is the only holdback, right? The GPU, fantastic, but the CPU is the only holdback, and that's why they get clowned a little bit, like, okay, what happened to 4K 60 uncompromised on everything? You know what I mean? And it's not there on every title. So what you're saying, my question back to you, Saab, is like what you're saying. Do you think with this custom SoC AMD, do you think that Microsoft or Sony is going to expound upon that? Also, do you think like, or maybe just use it itself, and just from a price cutting, like, does this affect like 2020 is when we most likely expect these new consoles, right? So like, does that affect that line that's coming soon? Like, how do you feel in relation to the next gen consoles?
Well, I think it guarantees that we at least see some form of Ryzen on the system on the chips for the next one. So that guarantees that. It guarantees that.
Yes.
I think both console makers are going to blow these specs out of the water.
Yes.
If you look at now, the question is in terms of the CPU, since everything is on one chip, can we get to that point? Yeah, of course. Switch 2.0, baby. Yeah.
Woo, excited? You excited?
Take my money, Nintendo.
Nintendo has always underpowered, underdelivered.
I don't
Oh my God.
But I'm rolling my eyes right now.
But wait a minute, Saab, though. We gotta correct. What about the Tegra? Because doesn't these guys have the relationship with NVIDIA or something like that?
Well,
Sony, so I mean the Switch.
The Switch, yeah, if they're gonna do a Switch 2.0, unless they're working with somebody else on some sort of small form factor tech, then the expectation is that it would be some form of the Tegra 2.0, Tegra 2.
Right. Gotcha.
So I don't unless they're doing something secretive and they're not working with NVIDIA anymore. Another interesting thing is that if you think about the moves that Microsoft is making recently with NVIDIA themselves, like the new API that's going to focus a lot on the God, what the heck is it? The ray tracing stuff.
The ray tracing.
That's in conjunction with NVIDIA, right? So it's kind of up in the air. I mean, maybe not, but for me, it's kind of up in the air who they go with for their next console, because this is so integrated into this. Now, mind you, AMD does have their own solution for this, and AMD have been the ones willing to build these custom chips, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what these chips look like, but I think this gives us at least a baseline to start speculating about what we're going to see. But I think these are good. Whatever PlayStation 5 is, the next Xbox 6 is going to blow this stuff out of the water.
No doubt. Lord Boom, what do you feel about all this stuff, man?
Well, I'm going to tell you this: Microsoft will never be behind the 8 ball ever again in regards to power. They completely understand where in 2013.
Says Phil, who did that for you?
Only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior.
I mean, they know what they did wrong in 2013, where they tried to overbalance what happened with the actual console and the Kinect, where the Kinect was, instead of the console being the lead, they wanted to change the world with Kinect, and they understand that they made a mistake. So they've taken all of this time to get us the X, which we all have and love, and power, which is not talked about in the mass media anymore, since Microsoft has that, and they're not the media darlings anymore, is where it's at. And all I'm going to say in regards to this is, I have the actual article in front of me. AMD has collaborated with the hardware manufacturer. I think it's pronounced Hongshang Subar.
Subar, yeah.
And listen, this when you see technology like this, it's great because and you hit the really out of the point. We know for an absolute fact that Ryzen will be in the next console, and that is a big deal because the CPU has been the hang up. GPU is fantastic. The CPU, you get that bottleneck and you can't do what you really want to do. I think you're right. I think that both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, whatever you want to call it, are going to blow these specs out of the water, 100%.
Yeah, man, this is exciting stuff right now. I like that. Sov brought that to the table. Anybody got anything else on the AMD SoC, or should we move on to the finals topic?
Let's get to the finals.
All right. My bad. Sov on your own. My bad.
Real quick. No,
the rant. Yes, my bad. Continue.
My quick rant. So, because I thought Attic wasn't going to be here, so I had a double topic. So real quick, Def Jam has been hinting at the possible return of a Def Jam fighting game since June. In June, they put like a silhouette on a PlayStation cover saying, "Who would you like on the cover of a new Def Jam fighting game?" And again last week, I know.
Wow.
Push.
You really gonna go there?
If you know, you know.
You know, baby.
Nah, I think Kiki, are you with me? Are you riding?
Everybody with that push. Yeah.
Get back in the bushes. Get back in the bushes, T.
So last week they kind of hinted at, like, what city would you like it set in? It's like, wait a minute, are they really doing this? Like, really? And at the same time, I was excited. I was excited, and at the same time, like, completely shut down because I think Kids Move said it best, and I totally agree. I would not put it past them to make some mobile thing with this, right? That's one thing. That's thing that's disheartening. Secondly, if it doesn't have that Aki engine in it, I'm not touching it. Exactly. And this goes to my this goes to my heart.
I'm just curious, what is this related to? Like,
this is just related to a new Def Jam game. I was just gonna tell you.
Okay, Pat.
I was just gonna tell you to shut your mic off because this is old man talk. This is old man talk right now.
It's old man talk.
Let me get hologram Tupac, and I'm good.
I tell you right now, if I can't get Meth and Redman to do a super,
it's not happening. This goes back to this engine. This Aki wrestling / fighting game engine. Mm-hmm. This is the stuff of legend.
Yeah,
this engine to this day has not been surpassed in bringing the feeling of pro wrestling to life.
Yep.
I don't care what these 2K games are doing.
Mercy. WCW versus NWO World Tour.
WrestleMania.
Oh my God, man. The GOATs.
Revenge. These games, what they do, that to me is still witchcraft under the hood, because those games, it was just you didn't know what was happening, right? You could be good at the game, right? And if you're fighting someone
until they got blackmouth though.
Yeah, that wasn't Aki. They gave that. Okay. I know what you meant. We hated that one. That was the one on GameCube.
Yeah, that was Ukes. Remember, they tried to mimic the Aki engine, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah, they came out with blackmouth.
Yeah,
the blackmouth.
Characters open their mouth, they would be like hollow souls, and we call it.
You guys have to really understand. You guys in the chat who were not around, didn't play these games, you have to understand what these games are. And
Preach.
Honestly, guys, like, there's no game that we went bonkers for more as a group.
Yes.
Well, actually, one, Halo.
Halo's the one when we did the system link, television, 4 TVs.
Like, we bought televisions that nobody owned. Like, we all pitched in for 2 televisions. And
they folded. I folded wrestling for them, though. I folded wrestling.
Well, Halo folded everything. I mean, Halo was.
Yeah, but I folded it with Goldberg. I folded wrestling.
Well, no, that's what you folded that. We got tired of that.
But we went out this game.
They didn't want to play wrestling with me no more after I got the Goldberg.
That was the SmackDown, the PlayStation game wrestling.
This is the thing, though, and that goes to my point. Those games, right? Those PlayStation SmackDown versus Raw, they don't hold the candle to these N64 games, and it's because of the gameplay. That engine. Yo, that engine, you could go in and you could be beating up on somebody. If you make one mistake and you allow them to get their spirit meter back up, the whole flow of the fight can change. This guy who you were whipping on could turn around and beat you, and that's the product that professional wrestling is.
Yes.
This is not these games now. They're more like a fighting game. If you're whipping on somebody from the beginning of the match, you're gonna beat him. Period. He's not coming back.
Yeah, that's the start of the King era where we hated them games. He was dominating.
That's when I came through. That's when I came through with my knapsack. Goldberg.
You versus
so that's just my mini rant. I'm glad that they're even talking about this stuff. Those Def Jam games were fantastic. They expanded on the engines that we saw initially in the N64 in a way that was just great. But I'm saddened because I don't think it's going to be anything that we care about.
That's a shame.
It's a shame.
That made the Goldberg era. Shout out to the PlayStation team that made that.
It's going to be that. It's going to be that football game everyone hyped up, and it turned out it was a mobile game.
Oh yeah. What was it? Joe Monte? Something I forgot. Yep. I remember.
It was a mobile football game that came out.
Yeah, remember they thought it was coming. It was supposed to be exclusive. What was it? Montana. It was something.
Joe Montana.
Sports Talk too. Sports Talk.
Yeah, I guess they thought Sports Talk was coming back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to UK Dasmers, Undertaker versus Goldberg, old man match, no doubt. Yeah, man. We used to have so much fun with those things, man. And like Lord Sov said, the Aki fighting system, those wrestling games to me were superior. The counter system, the interaction, and as they evolve, you can make your own pay-per-view. And it was such a back and forth. I mean,
we spent so much time. We spent so much time.
That. We would all put our names in hat. So, you know what I'm saying, decide what type of match is going to be, a triple threat, a battle royal, whatever, Royal Rumble, determines champions in each division, make belts. We would go so crazy with this thing.
Not like actual belts. Actual belts. King had somewhere in the house.
King would come with the actual, he bought the actual, what is it, $300?
That's dope.
WCW championship belt, and literally whoever would win would get to go home that week with the belt.
So
this is how you know I never lost.
He kept it.
There it is.
Let me focus on my dog. And you did not want to lose because if you lost, there was one Lord Ken, who doesn't. We don't see. When he lost the King, he was forced to crawl under King's legs while King was holding the belt over him.
Yes, we would come up with
that's
scar for life. Just by the way,
my best match was Drew. My best match was Lord Drew. When he had to carry me on his back down the block. That was my best match.
Shout out to Lord Drew, man. That was hilarious, man. Fun times.
Oh no.
What's up?
No. My best game that I've ever won has to be against Lord Black Magic.
Oh,
no, Black Magic.
God.
Where he had to walk butt naked down the street. That one was my best match.
You never want to bet Lord
There's
King.
a lot of scarred human beings walking around thanks to this man.
Yes, because here's the thing, he don't care if he lose. His thing, if he gets you one time. That's why the Addict versus King is so interesting.
Because when Kratos take that loss, I'm gonna rag you like a dog.
So that's part of the Lord's history, making those decisions. That's the origins of Bend the Knee, y'all. Just so y'all know, like that's how all that started. But yeah, fantastic topic. So I know that we got to move on. I'm gonna rush to this last topic because I know we're running over. We got to get out of here. All right, so we've got some news from our good friend Casey Hudson, and talking about Bioware. And I'm definitely gonna pass this off to Boom because. You know, we obviously there was an Anthem panel at PAX, and there was some talk about the future of the Mass Effect franchise, Dragon Age franchise, and one thing I also want to talk about too, which I think a lot of people don't really mention a lot in regards to Anthem, is the approach. And I want to shout out Lord Samuel Tolbert, of course, our Lord editor at the TIC GamesNetwork.com, and he put out this article as well in reference to Casey Hudson. So basically, what Casey's saying is. It's going to be a combo experience. And this is kind of also, shout out to Lord Arix when we had him on. And he kind of hinted to us, and we didn't even realize it. And remember, we were doing the whole thing, Destiny 2 versus Division 2 versus Anthem, who's going to survive and all that. And he said, look, he made a great point. He said, these guys, Anthem, may be going for something completely different. And the vibe I'm getting from Casey Hudson now is that they're doing a combo single-player experience and then a multiplayer experience. and he mentioned that. So let's get into all this Bioware talk. Lord Boom, I heard your podcast. You had a fantastic topic, your panel with this topic. So I'm gonna let you set this off. Like, what do you feel about all of this information coming out from Casey Hudson?
Well, first and foremost, you have to understand something. The reason why Andromeda took the L was because Casey Hudson wasn't on it.
B team.
Okay, that's the bottom line. The Casey Hudson's backstory with Mass Effect is, I hope he writes a book, because you have to understand the passion that this man has for that franchise. He called it his child. You don't say that about a franchise unless you give a S about it, right?
Say that about a franchise that you abandoned, though.
Well, you know,
he's the type that moves around from different things. Like, he kind of gets disinterested and comes back, and
I mean, he was getting a little burnt out on the edge with the Mass Effect thing, and he left to go work at Microsoft to kind of, I guess, cool his jets a bit.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the HoloLens project.
He was on there for a while. I don't think he did much when he was there. He just kind of recharged his batteries. I am going to say this: that midsummer update that they posted on BioWare's blog, where he said that this is his exact quote. We hear you loud and clear. The interest in BioWare doing more Dragon Age and more Mass Effect. So rest assured that we have some teams hidden away working on some secret stuff that I think you're all going to really like. We're just not ready to talk about that for a little while. Now, there's a couple of things that you can take away from this. First of all, understand that a Mass Effect, a proper Mass Effect, is coming, so that's dope.
Thank God.
Okay, but here's the other thing, and I did a poll over the weekend. I've been tweeting at EA. I've been tweeting at BioWare. I think it's about high time that they just already cut the BS and release a 4K HDR version of Mass Effect 1 through 3.
Let's go.
Add the DLC. Charge me $59.95.
Oh, they're gonna get that money.
And I get you. I'll tell you this right now. Whatever month that game comes out in is winning NPD #1.
Woo! They're sitting on a gold mine with that.
They are. And considering that it's EA, I'm very surprised that we have not seen that as of yet.
All right, I got a good statement to say about that then. So everyone that loves Dragon Age, that loves BioWare, don't buy Anthem.
Why? Why not buy it?
I don't know. Anthem comes out, it is kicking, and they're making bukus of money. They ain't going back to those friends.
No, it's actually the opposite.
I don't know, dude. I think that they have BioWare is such a big team. And they're such a historic team that
we're talking about. They're gonna be like, we this is a gold money. Like, let's say that comes out and that is doing numbers,
and that gives them incentive to make this proper sequel that the fans want.
But I get that. But like, when a lot of companies, when they hit a gold mine, they don't just go make something until that gold mine's gone.
Continue to mine that property until that property goes dry.
But there's really nothing else to mine because EA
does that. That's their MO.
I understand what you're saying. The only thing I think is different in this case with Mass Effect is that it is well regarded that the first 3 are revered, right? Those are like the everyone was disgusted with. I shouldn't say everyone, but most people consider Andromeda a mediocre game, not a terrible game, but a mediocre.
And that's not how you want to have your premier franchise.
And being how bad it was received initially, remember those memes and those graphical glitches? Those were all over social media. So the thing is, people at that point was like, damn, because of this kind of stumble with Andromeda, now we have no hope of getting a proper Mass Effect. So now that they bring Casey back, who's kind of like the father of Mass Effect. I remember we came out, that E3 on Xbox stage with the perm. I was like, who is this guy? But I was like, yo, this game looks cool. And they had conversation choices and all this stuff. Like, they debuted that. And remember, Boom, this was an Xbox exclusive.
That is correct.
Yes. So I'll throw it to you this way then. Let's say that the game comes out, it's extremely successful, and they do. No, I'm talking about Anthem being successful.
Oh,
they don't want to leave Anthem because they're making bukus of money from it. Let's say that does happen, and they're like, okay, we're making a lot of money. We can fund 3 BioWares. I mean, 3 Mass Effects. What happens if they try to take a BioWare through the Anthem approach? He's like, let's make it more like Destiny and make it an open world thing that a games of service. Like it can happen. Like
it can happen. There's no doubt anything can happen.
If that game comes out and it's extremely successful and EA finally gets that Destiny money, that, you know, constant revenue coming in constantly like they have with their sports games.
Right, absolutely.
It's going to drastically change something they do.
The only reason why I disagree is I'm a Mass Effect head. Here's the difference. The problem is Anthem already controls that Destiny / space, as well as they're trying to keep some narrative. The difference with Mass Effect is people forget when 2 and 3 came out, they introduced a multiplayer mode that was very successful. Yes. It was like a co-op, almost horde mode. It had microtransactions up the wazoo. Let's keep it real. You could buy those boxes and, you know, so to me, they've got their revenue stream already. There's really no need. And
I feel like the market's changed since then.
It has, but you cannot. If you want to bring Mass Effect back, you have to give people the classic product.
Yeah, it has to be Mass Effect.
But how many franchises have we said that about? And then the franchise made a sequel and it wasn't like that.
Well, if you look at Gears, right? You look at Gears, right? Gears 4 was very safe because they had to make sure that the coalition could make a Gears game, right? I think with Casey coming back, and he made it clear before. He said it. He said, "We're gonna give you the Mass Effect that you want. We're not. It's not shelved." They said it's shelved.
It happens. The only reason I would say it happens is because of Casey.
I think now
it's because he's in that position where he can dictate stuff.
Exactly, and that's his baby. He's not gonna let them bastardize his baby. That's just how I see it.
Well, we know that game is coming. We know that. If they brought him back, it probably was part of his contract. Like, listen, I'll come back if you know I get a chance to have a crack at my game, letting my game go out how it's supposed to go out, opposed to this limp dog that limp to the finish line that nobody really plays right now. So
I will say this though. I will say this: Mass Effect coming back under Casey still has to be a bigger beast than old Mass Effect, right? It still has to be different.
Oh, yes.
Because that game is going to be coming out in a post-cyberpunk world. It's going to be coming out like it has to be better. It has to be expanded. It can't be, because we can say whatever we want about Andromeda. Andromeda followed that formula just in a very boring way. It wasn't, but the formula was there.
Right.
Would it be fair to say because they missed their opportunity in this gen and trying to reboot it again next gen that it might have done too much damage to the brand?
I mean, I'll let Boom answer and then I'll jump in.
Well, look,
I mean, you had one Mass Effect all generation, and it's received really poorly. Do you think they'll be able to survive another one next generation?
Well, no. I just want to just throw my 2 cents in for that, because here's the thing. Right now, it's all hands on deck to get Anthem out and let Anthem do the real grunt work for them. What they're going to, you got to remember, Dragon Age and Mass Effect are probably going to be funded by the success of Anthem. So you may not see. I mean, listen, you're not going to see a Mass Effect come out in 2020 because you're going to be talking about expansions and things of that nature. This is going to be a next gen title for sure. But what I'm saying is that if they want to reinvigorate the love and the fire for this franchise, an HD 4K HDR lovely package of the 3 games that are listen, those 3 games are probably some of the most revered titles on the Xbox 360. They will make a mint. So again, they have something. He said that we have some secret things that we're not ready to talk about right now.
I completely agree with you, Boom.
That's probably that triple pack that we want. I don't think it's a Mass Effect for this generation.
I completely agree.
All I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if Anthem was such a hit and they made more money off Anthem in 3 years than they made off Mass Effect the entire time it's been around, that they just put everything on the back burner and focus nothing but on Anthem.
Listen, I hear where you're going with this. I definitely disagree. All I'm gonna say is that I agree with Boom. We may not see Mass Effect still for a while. They're still working. It may not be ready for any 2020 type of release. The Anthem is what they're working on right now. All eggs is in the basket with Anthem. I get that. But I do agree with Boom. One thing you do is you let a franchise go away for a while, right? And then you bring out that's what shout out to Lord Bill Still and stuff. Why certain backward compatibility games don't come yet, because it's a lot of these publishers that say, "Hey, we know we can give it to you guys, but we want to line it up for a set of releases." That's how you market. So let's say Anthem does this well for all this generation. The start of the new generation starts, the next generation of consoles. Maybe they come out with another game, and then it's like all of a sudden now we get the Mass Effect package, and then they just roll it out with. So you get the the 4K 60, all 3 games. That is a cult classic series. You don't understand, like the Mass Effect fan base are ravenous, and they've been wanting this. Like, this is easy money they sitting on right now that they could drop out and people will go crazy. And that's how you get the love back, you get the energy back. Everybody's like, yeah, Mass Effect, feel good. And then you start lining up the marketing for the new one, right? And that's how you get the ball rolling. So that's why I think this is a ways off, but it was just happy for me personally to see him talk about it, because the scared fear as Mass Effect fans was when Andromeda dropped, they were like, that's it. There's not going to be no more. BioWare's going under. Everybody's worrying for BioWare. Like, yo, if Anthem flops or whatever flops, the next, it's over. So it's just a little positive stuff. I know it's a little thing, doesn't guarantee.
I think there's a good chance if Anthem flops, BioWare goes under.
There is. There's no doubt. No doubt about it. King, anybody else on this topic before we roll out of here? All right. So let's get this new ILP poll for the week. All right, with the continued financial success of Nintendo's mini consoles, the NES, the SNES, do you ultimately think this will negatively affect the success of the Nintendo Switch moving forward? Answers are A, yes, Switch is already on the decline since 2017. B, no. Shut up, King. B, no, Switch software still dominates NPD. Or C, I don't care until they get a real online service.
Oh, I'm hitting that.
I know we're addicts in it. Yeah, King. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP poll when it goes up on Twitter tomorrow. Lord BoomStick XL, an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm of the Lords, man. Where can the people find you? What do you have going on?
Well, first, let me just say this honestly, and I'm not being a kiss ass here. I'm being straight up. This is probably one of the best shows I've ever been on.
Wow,
I'm being serious. Like you know what it is when you get a group of guys who just love gaming, and you get around, you talk. I felt like I was hanging in your crib.
No doubt. That's the energy we go for.
We're just watching some old NCW, you know what I'm saying? WCW, NWO joints. That's what it felt like. So that's amazing. And second of all, listen, guys, it's a real honor for me to be here. I mean, like I said, we've talked privately about coming on the show, and it's just sometimes we couldn't get the right day. Someone was always doing something. But this was great. Listen, all I say is this. If you're interested about following a dude that has been in the gaming business for 40 plus years and gives an honest opinion, I don't worship a piece of plastic. I support them. Okay. And my videos, if you look on my channel, there's nothing, and I mean not even one of them that has clickbait.
That's
okay.
Right.
They are straight up honest from the get. If I get two views, then I got 2 views. But if I get 1,000 views, that means I did something right.
Preach.
Okay. So
everything he said, I'm the exact opposite.
Looking for the view.
I mean, listen, I love doing this. I love this community. I love branching out and meeting new people. I think that's really what what makes this community so amazing, is that everyone is willing to give each other a hand. And I think that's important. Absolutely. Okay. Again, I'm an old school cat. We all know that. Check out my YouTube channel, Double Barrel Gaming on YouTube. If you want to follow me.
When's the time? Give us the timelines when you go live.
Okay, well, I go live Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the Boom Pop-Up Podcast, where the subject matter is usually old school stuff. Yeah, a lot of old school stuff goes up on there. I actually just did actually last week, as a matter of fact, Mass Effect Andromeda, why it failed. Why it failed.
Nice.
So that was a good one. And then if you want to check out the Breakfast with Boom Friday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have my guest range. It's usually,
out of curiosity, what do you eat at breakfast at Boom?
Usually I have my oatmeal because I'm coming from the gym.
Nice,
so,
that's me.
So I'll have my oatmeal right before Breakfast with Boom, and maybe I'll have a couple of bottles of water, but I don't really eat during because I don't.
So you don't eat during the. I feel like that's false advertising. Breakfast with Boom? Like,
well, I'm drinking water. I don't know if that counts as food, but yeah. If you want to check out the show, it's I'm the host, but I have a rotating chairs. It's either 3 to 5 people. It's always new. Every week. It's never the same person because, like I said, the more people I can promote, the better I feel as a host.
Same here, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I like doing that, and I do weekly videos. They're sporadic because obviously, like now, news is a little. There's not much really going on, so you kind of really gotta put it together to get some news out there. But I do try to put out at least one video per day. And it's not clickbaity, man. It's all legitimate. How I am right now on the air is how I am in real life. This is not a persona. This is not an act. This is the real me. Like I said, dude, I appreciate all the support. I'm a few subs away from 1,200.
Oh, we're gonna get them there. We got to get you there.
Which is a big deal. And last night when I was looking through my stuff, because I don't look at the numbers every day, because that's crazy, but I surpassed 100,000 views in 8 months.
Wow. Salute.
That's bananas because, like I said, I mean, I didn't even realize I was going to get 100 subs, let alone nearly 1,200. So again, thank you. A big shout out to the community that has supported me. Big shout out to everybody on this panel. Listen, we definitely got a game together because this is the real game attack will be exchanged. Yeah, absolutely. Well, mine is simple, Mr. BoomStick with
King. He's doing whatever King's doing.
But once again, guys, it was a real honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
You are welcome. Always a pleasure to have you in the realm of Lords. Long overdue, positive in the community, real stand-up guy. He's from New York too, y'all. Y'all got to show love. Like it was the perfect combination, man. We had to do it, but like I said, love what you're doing. Please support, like I said, Double Barrel Gaming. You can find, like I said, on his 2 shows as well as Crossfire, and where I got a chance to interact with him for the first time, and I was absolutely, man. Shout out to those guys because I wouldn't have got a chance to interact with Lord Boom, and really good dude. So salute to him. Lord Addict, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Addict IOP. Definitely follow me on there. I'm actually coming close to 1,000 followers.
Oh, let's go. Let's get Lord Addict subs, man. Gaming Addict, let's go.
You can find me. I'll be streaming. I'm probably going to stream on the IOP Twitch with Kid Smooth on
Nice.
Dead Space 3.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, we're got to see how. I'm trying to convince him to play on the hardest difficulty, but I'm not winning in that. So I guess we're gonna play. He wants to play it on easy, but that's not happening.
Don't stress that, man.
We'll probably play it on like the hard to the one low below that. So we'll see that. See how that goes. I have no.
Called medium, sir. It's called medium.
Actually, just showed up.
Medium. I understand you want to go hard. Pause. But I get it. I get it.
No doubt.
But see how that goes and see if I'm hoping I can beat it with him.
No doubt. Lord Solve, what do you have going on and what can the fine people find you? Not online.
Not online. No, you will, but this week I'm gonna do it. Definitely.
Oh, that's right. Get on that.
We got to create a Patreon tier just for you. Get on
that. Yeah, that's right. Get on that Destiny.
I gotta do it. I'm not gonna be left behind this time.
No doubt.
That's right.
Yeah, so you can catch me on Twitter, LordSovILP, retweeting everything that my lords put up. And Xbox Live PSN, BX Sovereign.
No doubt.
And big shout out to BoomStick. You know I love it when the old men come on because that's our talk.
That's right.
That's right. And he was on premium status.
Yeah, he was on premium status today, no doubt. Lord King, where can the fine people find you and what do you have going on?
You can find me on Destiny dying. Yo, shout out to the clan. You guys it is so beautiful to see the community come together in such a form and a fashion. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is all lit. Facebook is for promotional, is the community. Twitter is for day to day, getting at each other, talking, finding out what's going on, business moves, gaming news, stuff like that. You can really see us interacting there. And Instagram is for the behind the scenes and at the shows, the stuff that you really want to see. What goes on with us? What's really happening? What do they like? What do they eat? What's weird stuff is happening? It is there. You can check it out. But I'm loving everything that's going on. I'm loving the fact that we're bringing pure gaming, that whole fundamental back to movement. Mr. BoomStick, listen, I love the whole narrative. The narrative is good guy gives back who also games. And it's beautiful because this is what we're talking about. This is what we're promoting. And if any platform can elevate that so it can be visualized to other people so they can see it, they don't have to cater to the lowest denominator to get views and to get clicks. The man is being successful with being good. So let's not make good a bad thing. Let's make good a good thing. Game with us. I tell you all the time, if I'm playing, jump in there. I don't bite. I don't care. Let's go. If we're doing a raid or we're doing something, we got space, come on there, man. We have no problem with it. Unlike Addict, he might leave if you die a couple of times. But I'll sit there with you. I'll sit there with
I love it.
But listen, we all love the same mistress, and she's been great to us.
3 life.
All right.
After that, you're
yeah, you see, not me. But we all have loved the same mistress, and she's been very good to us. So I want us to keep enjoying this situation, this video games, because coming from dot pixels to what we have now is insane. It's magic.
No doubt, man. Could have said it better. Yeah, man. Like I said, tremendous show again. Lord King preaching the gospel of the Lord. So much appreciated. And like I said, Lord Boom doing the positive things out here. Again, hit that like, subscribe, YouTube, on all the Inner Circle Network media, as well as the Iron Lord podcast channel. Shout out to Lord Kai Bouts on the audio. We'll try to get that up later tonight for the MP3 crowd on iTunes and SoundCloud. And those links will be in the description when he gets that. On the ILP channel, Flashpoint 25 is up with Evantis deep diving. We went very deep on Friday mornings, going in with Destiny 2, what's been going on, all the latest changes, getting ready for Forsaken. It's really good show. Yeah, man, we had a lot of fun with this. This may be the time to come back. If you're on the fence, you want to learn what has changed, please listen to Flashpoint. We work very hard on it. Support me and my brethren. And of course, Lord King Combat Talk. When we got another one coming on ILP.
We got another one coming up in September. Actually, we have a couple in September. We have some really good, worthy fights that need to be talked about in September. You have Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia. You have Triple G versus Canelo. And I believe we have Joshua versus Povetkin. Now, I don't normally cover Joshua because I think he has a heart of a mustard seed, but I'm covering Povetkin because I believe Povetkin is going to play spoiler with the Wilder Joshua fight, and you have Wilder versus Fury that they're trying to lock down, but that's not in September. But trust me, Combat Talk is coming back with a Fury in September, and it is a ton of really good fights that you should be interested in. Don't take to heart that this weekend nothing was reported on. Everything sucked this weekend, and it reflected that. All right. So if you want to
see that's HBO boxing, then.
No, actually, HBO boxing was the bully going after tomato can, where the tomato can actually tore him up. All right. Gotcha. So be careful what you cherry pick. You're gonna get knocked out cherry picking. All right. And you had 2 bums on PBC, which was on Fox. That is a subsidiary.
So needless to say, it wasn't a good boxing weekend.
It wasn't a Showtime situation.
I feel you. So when Showtime come back, we in the building.
Al Heyman, what's up?
No doubt. So yeah, man, everybody, like I said, anybody got anything else? And again, shout out to Lord Patreons. Is that solving you in the back?
Yeah, that's me.
What's up? You said you had anything?
No, real quick. Quick. I just wanted, we forgot to mention this, a big shout out to our brethren, Lord SWAT ILP. Lady
I forgot. You're right.
On your pending nuptials, the realm rejoices. You guys are fantastic. I got to meet you guys 2 years ago. It's great that you guys are taking that next step in your relationship. So the realm rejoices, dilly dilly.
Yes, dilly dilly. Yo, shout out to Lord SWAT, Lady Panda, tying the knot officially. A Lord and a lady have met, and it's fantastic. We all knew it was happening. It was just a matter of time.
Matter of time. That's all.
Ring down. But you know what I'm saying? But shout out to them, man. Fantastic group of people, just good individuals, great gamers. We had the pleasure of going to E3 with them. It was 2 years ago. As I was there, it's so much fun, and like I said, SWAT is so talented. One of the originators of ILP as well as the logo. We got to give him his props. And as far as Panda, she's just tremendous gamer, tremendous writer, and it's good to see them on their journey. It is ILP approved. The matrimony houses come together.
Those some dope statues you got there, right? I'm telling you right now.
Oh, what you call it? Shining on us? Lord King shining?
Yeah,
he's shining on us. That's what
my camera's not in a good spot, but I will show you a Hulk Buster I got about 10 years ago. That it is straight up crazy dope.
See, this is the type of stuff you'll find on the ILP Instagram, y'all. Please support us on Instagram. We've got a lot of pictures up there, a lot of us interacting at shows, all that cool stuff, man. King out here shining. We got to get out of here. And just a forewarning, when football season is approaching, it will be approaching by probably September, so that's when we move back to 11, but we'll give you guys the heads up just for, that, and then 2019 starts, and eventually we get back to 1 p.m. again. So just giving y'all the heads up on what's happening. So if everybody got anything else to say, we're going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy your Sunday, and peace.